Hey! Welcome everybody to Nat1Fun. So tonight we will be entering into episode number 5. If you haven't already, you should definitely hit that subscribe button, or I'm sorry, you should hit that follow button underneath here. You guys are going to be here for a little bit. It's going to be about a 3.5 to 4 hour, hopefully not more than 3.5 hour stream. We like to, I like to at least attempt to make it a little bit shorter. Our games have run a little long just because of the holiday season, but hopefully we can bring those down just a little bit. But other than that, we have a few announcements to make tonight. Let me turn down the music. It's a little bit loud. By the way, the music you hear is from our wonderful composer that, by the grace of God, has descended upon us and decided to drop their amazing talent into the stream. And so, yeah, you guys definitely need to go check him out. I will be linking in the chat. I will be linking in the chat later his Spotify and everything like that. Makeshift is his name in Discord. So if you want to say thank you for all he's offered to the stream, that is where you'll find him. So everything you hear today was a collaboration of either Makeshift or myself and everything like that to create the sounds and music you hear. So let's go into a few things. First off, the best things come free. The first thing we need to talk about is our giveaway that we do monthly. So now at the start of the new month and the new year, Happy New Year's to everybody. This month, January, we will be giving away more dice. So if you're interested in that, make sure that you're subscribed to the channel and you have a chance to win those free dice. And I think last time we had a total of 8 entries, guys. 8? 1 in 8 chance to win free dice. I think that's pretty good odds. So what I would like to do is turn it over to our resident bard, Leon and Ray, if you'd like to take it over.
So, doing the thing that I shouldn't have done, but I tried to support local game shops even though we're in the middle of a plague. And there's this amazing one. If you happen to live anywhere near Huntsville, Alabama, you should go in and support Deep Comics and Games. But they have tons and tons and tons and tons and tons of dice. And this month's dice are these pretty babes. Come on. They are very seriously called Arctic Storm from Unicorn Dice.
Mm-hmm.
And they are really pretty and fun to roll, and I can't keep them, so you should win them. That's the long and short of it.
Yeah.
I can't keep them, so you
It's
should
so
have
true.
them.
I mean, if you talk about if you think about it like from a like a pretty dice kind of point of view, has really beautiful spring what am I thinking of? Glitter, like really fine glitter in it, and it has like bursts, like almost like cloud bursts within it with the drops of ink and stuff like that. It's really gorgeous. And what's on that 20 there?
That is a unicorn.
That is a unicorn itself. So if, as you can see, it is, it's a little bit sideways in the picture, but you can see the little horn kind of pointing off to the side. But yes, unicorn and glorious, glorious dice. So free dice, like I said, every month, guys. Today, or this month's dice is that one itself, and you can see it right there on screen. And you guys can always check up on the free set of dice that is to be offered. We will throw it up on the actual Discord. So if you're ever in question about what that month's set is, you can always go there and we will have it ready to go. Secondly, we announced it last stream, but we will announce it again. We have officially been sponsored. We are sponsored by Dirt Cheap Dungeons, which is an awesome set of dungeon tiles that you can use on your physical tables at home. It is basically an alternative to like the more expensive and I guess kind of like the resin material that you'll get with what is it called? Dwarven Forge. But it is very easy to set up. It's extremely portable for those DMs that travel from place to place and need to have that stuff ready to go. You could have it in a small little box and set up an entire dungeon from right then and there. I will be receiving that material here probably within a month or so, and we will do a complete unboxing and stuff like that on YouTube. That way you guys get a better opportunity to see what it's all about, and it may eventually lead to even more giveaways by us by way of Dirt Cheap Dungeons. They might give us some swag that we can give away to chat. So look forward to that. More free stuff for you guys. Tertiary or thirdly, I'd like to speak about, we have officially also opened up merch for the first time. This is new to the stream. We had just opened it up, I think like midnight or like 2 a.m. last night. So let me see if I can find it here. Window capture, add, boomy boom, boom. Here is our merch, and the link to the merch store, I can give it to you right now in chat. Give me 1 second. It'll be right here. I have yet to set up anything on Twitch that kind of links you directly to it. So if you have any questions about it during this stream, don't be afraid to spam it in chat or whatever is necessary, and we can go over it after the game. But look at these items. I mean, there's some great stuff. We got literally like the masks for COVID. You got the awesome like large print that I'm definitely already bought. You have the logo on the cup, which on the opposite side comes in like pink. Some baby material for babies, because you know I had to buy one for my little boy. Some amazing winter gear if you wanted. Handprints. That sticker, I bought that sticker just recently as well. Phone case, socks, prints, literally everything. If you could put something on something, I did it. So we did it. There's just tons and tons of options. Again, this is literally just one thing put on different materials, and there's going to be much more to come. So if you like what you see, definitely go in there and support the stream by buying some merch. That would be greatly appreciated. All right. So all that being said, is there anything you guys would like to talk about? Anything like New Year's that happened, or like anything that you want to, you know, maybe you have some New Year's resolutions or anything like that? What do you got? Nothing. They have no resolutions whatsoever. Fuck this year.
My New Year's resolution is to start D&D.
Start D&D.
Guess what?
All right, so
make more dice.
There you go.
I got TPK'd in 2020, so.
Oh God! So don't get TPK'd in 2021. There's a good one. Does the mask have 3 layers, or is it a single layer cloth? It looks to be a single layer cloth that has the ripples in it, so that you can place it and pull it to the correct size if necessary. But it is, I believe it's made of cloth. If you go look at it, it shows, if you go into the details, it'll show the actual material that it's made out of. And there's some epic socks in there, for sure. The shirts look legitimately good. I agree. I mean, honestly, I went looking around, I was searching around for the best place to host all our stuff, and that one came up. All right. So I think without further ado, if you guys don't have anything, I will fulfill Seth's New Year's resolution, and we will go ahead and start today's stream. All right, so let me go ahead and stop the music for now, and let's get into it. Last we left off, our adventurers had just recently gotten to Easthaven, and when getting to Easthaven, they saw that people were setting up for something, as there was plenty of people in the streets. And as the people in the streets set up their stalls, our adventurers kind of made their way over to the Wet Trout, which was the tavern that was in the northeastern part of town, to see that it was bustling. There was lots of people inside. There was a lot of things happening, especially compared to Bryndshander. And as the team kind of settled in, they realized that there was some sort of celebration that was to be held the next day, Hrathgar's wake. And as they kind of settled in for the day, making sure that things were settled, they received a bit of a quest line to go check to see if Chwingas were in the area, due to a crazy woman and a turtle kind of sending them off. Leodin had partook in a bit of a drink before heading off into the wilderness to go find this hut that they were supposedly finding. But in doing so, the drink itself made her act unnaturally more aggressive and biting in her decisions. Once finally returning or getting to the hut to begin with, they noticed that small trails were leading away from the hut, and using the lantern that they were given, received a bit of help in the direction that they were supposed to go, as the lantern lit blue towards elementals. They made their way into the small thicket of bramble and trees outside of the hut, and found a small group of Chwingas dancing around a plate in order to basically emulate eating food or trying to set up a bit of a banquet. And as Abel kind of snuck into the scene, one of the Chwingas saw him and invited him into partaking with him. In a bit of an awkward bit of time between the Chwingas and trying to complete this task, Leodin snuck up on the Chwinga that was being held by, or being preoccupied by Abel, and grabbed it and stuffed it into a bit of a sack. Stuffed it into like the cloak of Grimly, and decided to make their way back to town. During so, they decided that they would return the Chwinga to the woman versus returning it to the turtle. And when they returned it to the woman, she seemed quite bitter in the fact that they didn't give it to her immediately. Upon deciding to kind of look to see how the Chwinga's health was, or how to see how it was doing, in its place they found but a pile of rocks, and the Chwinga had seemingly escaped. Going forth into the rest of the day, they avoided any other contact and made their way to the Easthaven, the White Lady Inn, all the way across town, in order to find some room and board for the night. During that time, Kinrava and Grimly, was able to procure a pipe, and was able to procure some goods that they needed in order to proceed. And then they finally also met up at the inn. Sleeping in at the White Lady Inn for the night, they woke up to the morning celebrations as a large explosion in the sky was set off by what looked like to be a gnome artificer in the center of town. As they ran out into the crowd, they noticed that the celebration had begun. And in doing so, they participated in all kinds of events across town, including knife throwing, including bobbing for knuckleheads, even barroom brawls and arm wrestling. Our adventurers ended up with a bit of the coinage that is the tokens for Hrathgar's wake. And at near the very end of the celebration, Ian had finally decided to take Leodin to a secret spot out high above the city to kind of get a good bird's eye view of everything, and kind of professed his feelings for Leodin. Kin Rava very adamant on trying to make sure that everything was on the up and up, followed them out to this area. And at the very end of the session, we ended with Leodin and Ian looking out downwards towards the city and finally seeing the large crowd of people that were bustling around the city kind of center their way towards the middle of the city, to where they saw a large pole being erected in the center atop a wooden platform, and two large guards, arm in arm, holding what looks to be a figure dressed in a red robe, making their way to the center of town. And that's where we'll pick up today's session. Every time. Here we go. All right. So, with that being said, those that were just now exiting the inn after the barroom brawl, you all notice the general joyous attitude of the festival has shifted. Everyone's attention seems to be pulled towards the center of town. You even see small children being led inside as the majority of the crowd begins to shuffle towards a now 15-foot tall pole being raised atop the large wooden platform previously being used by Boomstick. What do you do?
We need to find Laden quick.
Yeah.
Does anyone know which direction they went?
Yeah, it's up the mountain. I can show you.
Okay.
And I'll lead them off in that direction.
Yeah. As stated previously in the other episode, that it doesn't take but maybe 20 minutes to reach where you're headed all the way up to the top if you wanted to. But it's about a 10-minute climb, so it only takes about 10 minutes to even reach the area below where they are. And as you kind of push through the snow and like the knee-deep trenches below you, you can look up and you see what looks like Leodin's and Ian's legs kind of just dangling over the edge.
I'll just wave them down.
Yeah, I'd say they're about 100 feet up or so.
My short little legs.
Leodin, what's your passive perception?
18.
18. So in the midst of...
Nope. So sorry. It's 21.
Oh, that's right. It's like humongous. I forgot about that. Okay, so Leodin, with your 21, you are able to... so you see Ian to your side, and he's very concerned about what is happening in town. He's just kind of looking forward outwards. And you look over, and you see just the top of... what looks like a cloaked figure off, like halfway down the pathway that you were taking, as you see the very obvious golden pauldrons of Kin, just kind of like looking out towards the town. But while looking at Kin, you also look over to your side, and you see approaching as small little specks in the snow. You see a dwarf kind of waving you down. Being followed by two other people.
I elbow Ian. I think I think I need to go.
What? Oh. Yeah, I mean, that's fine.
I think that's Grimly, and I think the tall one is Iceheart, and I think the other one must be Abel. So I don't know why, but they need me, so I've got to go.
I mean, it makes
It
sense.
probably has to do with that.
Yeah, probably. No, that's fine. I mean, I got what I wanted off my chest, and I just I'm glad I got to share it with you. Anyways, yeah, and he stands up and he just kind of like offers his hand out to help you up.
I take it.
He lifts you up. And you guys can make your way down the mountain. Kin.
I'm just gonna have Omen fly down from the sky and just swoop past Abel. Not Abel, sorry. Swoop past Ian, and on it, just as it swoops past, just looking at him and doing the creepy like owl 360 degree look back at him, just to sort of like be like, oh yeah, I was watching the whole time.
He does the as Omen passes, he does the Luigi and Mario Kart stare down as he passes by, and Ian and like almost loses his step as like the woof as the wind kind of pushes him down, and like he kind of loses his step for a moment and slips down a few rocks and then catches himself.
Are you all right?
Yeah. Damn owls.
Yeah, damn owls. All right, let's go.
And you guys make your way down. Ken, you could clearly see them making their way down, so you can either choose to stay up on the mountain and wait for them, or you can meet up with the group first as you were about halfway down.
Can Ravel just go down and meet with the group?
Okay.
Yeah.
So as you all three, and you're kind of waving them down, you see approaching you, Kin. As she approaches, she kind of makes her way down and gracefully jumps down the last couple feet into the snow. And as she walks towards you, a large owl whoosh, swoops down, and she holds her arm out, and it just lands upon her arm, and she just kind of slowly shifts her weight through the snow towards you. And for the rest of the group, as you wait, Ian and Leodin begin to finally make their way down, and all but 5 or 6 minutes later, as it's probably a lot easier to go down than up a mountain, they make their way down and you meet up.
Hey, it looks like they're setting up for the execution.
Yeah, so we should.
I would certainly like to get a closer look at that. Maybe we'll see the guard captain there overseeing it.
Yeah. Not sure I want to watch it.
Oh, I don't want to watch the actual burning, but I figured we have stuff to do around it.
Besides, if we can see the guard captain taking care of something like that, it'll be fairly easy to find her, so we don't have to track her down again.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. We should probably keep a watchful eye as well.
Well, then let's make our way there.
Yeah.
And you guys start making your way back towards the city. You notice that the city is essentially a ghost town as you make your way back into the outskirts. You notice that all the bits of light that were kind of made to kind of light the entire town during the celebration have been used for individual use to make their way towards the center of town. And you see a slight glow of orange kind of lighting up the center of town, kind of like lighting up the bits of fog that are around the area. The dark sky above you kind of signifying that it's probably close to about 5 p.m. at this point. And you start making your way into town, and you begin to kind of run into a bit of crowd, as of course the streets become crowded to a certain point. And as you reach a certain point, you can see now from a distance the two large guards that flank either side of this red cloaked figure. As they stand there, the red cloaked figure with its head down and arms behind its back, kind of in a hunched manner to hide his face, he looks down, and they just kind of are just holding it in place until finally the doors of the town hall kind of open up. And as the doors of the town hall open up, you can see a tall, fair-skinned woman with long brown hair down to her chest, a deep blue winter outfit with white trimming and fur lining its hood. With a very serious face and emotionless dark brown eyes, this half-elf female stops at the base of the staircase that leads up to the top of the wooden platform and motions for the guards to lead the mage up the pyre.
I'm guessing that's our guard captain.
Most likely.
You guys are probably a good, probably like 50 or 60 feet off. You have a really good, like, you know, visual of everything, but it's hard to see detail from this distance as the snow and crowd kind of really are really obscuring everything.
I'm assuming we're in a crowd.
Yeah, you guys are in pretty much a full crowd. Everybody seems to be huddled up close to each other.
I turn to someone around and just say, "So, who's the half-elf lady?"
What you mean the guard captain?
Oh, I didn't know. I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah, that's Imdra. Imdra Arlagath.
So are we going to try to stop this, or now would probably be the...
Oh, good
You
God.
see like two or three people like turn to you as everybody's like literally bunched up almost shoulder to shoulder. You see like 3 or 4 people like turn to you and like look at you in a very strange manner, like with their
No,
eyes
we
like...
certainly are not.
It's a little late for that, I think.
I also
Yeah.
think we'd be fighting everybody at
Not
that
a good
point.
That was just a joke.
idea.
You've got
Maybe not
interest
joke
in
about that.
timing on your jokes.
Yeah, one of the people that turns around kind of just gives a huh and turns around.
We should see if we can get ourselves a bit closer. If nothing else, I know we don't want to see that, but it would be advantageous to get within reach of the guard captain when this whole sordid affair is over with.
Yeah, I'd like to try to hear in on what they have to say.
Yeah. Okay.
Ian is like, you guys go ahead. I'll meet up with you later.
Okay.
Is everything all right, Ian?
Yeah, this is a little
Bit
too
much.
fucked up for me.
Yeah.
You know what? On second thought, Ian, I'll join you.
Yeah, sure. Well,
I walk off with him.
yeah, I'm gonna head to the White Lady Inn. You guys can meet me up there if you'd like later.
How far from the building are we?
From the White Lady?
No,
From
from
the City Hall.
wherever the guard captain just stepped out of.
From
About
City Hall,
60
you were...
feet?
Yeah, well, you were about
What'd you
60
say?
feet. Yeah, you're about 60 or so feet away from him, and the building itself was probably another like 20 or 30 feet off to your right.
Oh, and keep a very close hand on your coin purses. You know, everyone looking in one direction, large crowds, Easthaven.
I faint.
You fainting? All right. You can faint if you'd like. So I need you first off to roll a performance check for me.
21.
21.
A fainting couch is just going to materialize behind her as she falls.
She faints and lands on top of a fainting couch, and leg kind of goes up daintily into the air. So Leodin crosses her eyes and begins to fall down into the snow behind her. And as she does, she runs into about 2 or 3 people on her way down as they and they like try and catch you on your way down. And you see about 2 or 3 people out of the hundreds here begin to like fan you and ask if you're okay. Hey, lady.
I'm really sorry. I'm a little overcome. Is there any way I could sit down somewhere by maybe a fire or
Hey, get her.
talk to
Get her some help.
somebody or I don't know. I might need to go just away. Is that place, and I point out City Hall. Is that place somewhere where I could just get away for a minute?
You see one a stout dwarf woman approach from behind that man who had been calling for help, and she gets up there and she's like, "Are you okay, lass?" And she grabs you and grabs you by the hand and like pulls your back up to kind of give you a little bit of balance upwards, and says, "Come now," and she leads you over towards the city hall.
Kinrava's going to like trail right behind them, sort of like weave into the crowd as they like make a pathway for us.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll follow.
Okay. As you guys are following and performing, the mage who has had his head down the entire time finally looks up just enough to reveal a face cloaked in shadow and a set of chapped lips set into a deep frown with a gag stuffed into his mouth. The 2 guards shove him up by the shoulders, causing him to stumble and turn sharply at the neck to shoot the men a glare that would make a lesser person's blood run cold. Before anything can come of it, the captain's hand grabs the mage by the back of the neck and by his bindings and shoves him up the first few steps. The people setting up the pole and now a large mass of tinder underneath it take the mage the rest of the way up and secure him to the pyre. This entire time that you guys are performing and fainting and making your way over towards City Hall, you can hear the crowd is just full of boos and hisses. Some people even throwing fistfuls of like snow up towards the pyre. You hear, "Burn him! This is for Thomas and Harvey! Fuck you!" from the crowd. As you make your way to the edge of Town Hall, the dwarven woman sits you down. "Are you okay, lass?"
I just think it was all a little much. I'm not used to seeing that much possible violence all at once, and I just was overcome. Is there...
Dearie, it's only going to get worse.
I know. Is there any way I could go away or talk to the person who decided this or something like that? I just want to know what happened.
Well, it seems you've come at the wrong time. The person who decided it is up on the plinth right now.
Aye. Well, that's unlucky for me.
Maybe if you'd like more information, you can ask her after the execution.
That's probably what I'll have to do. Oh, thank you so much for your help. You were extremely kind.
She puts the back of her hand like up against her forehead and she goes, "Dearie, you seem to be burning up. Here." And she just kind of takes some snow and like rubs it across your forehead. course, she has no idea what she's talking about, but she has a very motherly way about her. Kinrava.
Following them up to the way, would it be possible for us to get sort of like in the front of the crowd? Like, front of this rock stadium sort of thing?
You can easily kind of shift and move your way through the crowd, no problem. The crowd themselves seems to be very stationary. It's very morose. Morose, is that the word I'm looking for? It's very, everybody's kind of like in a saddened mood. So it's not like very hard to make your way through this crowd. You do see, as soon as you kind of start shifting through though, people tend to like bunch up closer and kind of look at you as you pass to ensure that their belongings are still within close reach.
Would it be possible for me to get close enough to where theoretically the mage might be able to see me, or is he still looking down on anything?
Well, currently he's kind of looking down.
Okay.
And as you say that, as you make your way through the crowd and you kind of look in the distance, now at about 30 or so feet away, you see now that as soon as he makes his way up to the pyre and they tie him down and people are yelling, with a motion of a finger by the captain, one of the men standing next to the mage pulls the hood from his head, finally revealing the identity of this man. A younger human male, probably late 20s, early 30s, with brown, medium-length hair and a scraggly goatee that angles down to a point. The force that's used to pull the hood from his head causes his head to kind of shake, and he like shakes in anger as he looks around now, almost like as if he's looking above glasses, as he looks around to the crowd with wide eyes. He now, that now huddle around the pyre around him, he scrunches his nose in disgust and holds his chin up high and just looks outward toward the sky.
Okay.
The captain of the guard steps up onto the wooden platform itself behind him. She holds up her hands to cause the amount of talking and yelling and throwing of snow and anything and everything to kind of cease and lower to a low rumble murmur. As she says, "People of Easthaven, this mage has been found guilty of the murders of several citizens of your hometown. It is now my civic duty to put your worries and concerns to rest, as this man will burn for his wicked deeds in Hrathgar's honor." She will motion to the guards, and they will quickly light a couple of torches and toss them onto the pyre. The captain will then turn her back away from the fire that is quickly igniting underneath the mage as the mage just stares directly into the sky. The igniting flame catches, and she slowly makes her way back down the staircase, leading behind what you would think would be a screaming, yelling in pain situation. Instead is nearly a silent, horrific sight of an individual burning in the night. And this is what you will see. I will show you, as you know, we all need to see this. You all see now it quickly ignites underneath the mage's feet. The pyre burns. As the pyre burns, you see the crowd become almost deathly silent, and all you hear is the crackling of skin and wood. As the fire burns deeply, you see the crowd begins to huddle in as the warmth from the fire gives but a bit of solace in the snow. in the weather. Silence burns. Grimly, as you look upon this horrific sight of this burning wizard, you see the wizard underneath the flames, with half of his face already melting, turn towards you and look directly at you, as his eyes a light red and electricity begins to spark across them. The fear of that kind of burns into you as you look around. You see now the crowd around you slowly turns in your direction. Every single member of the crowd looks directly at you. Each and every one of them, their eyes alight with red and sparks. For a moment, you stutter step backwards, and as you stutter step backwards, you run into Abel, and you turn around, and Abel is staring directly at you with red eyes sparkling and sparking with red. And suddenly, Abel opens his mouth to speak. But suddenly you blink, and as you blink, everybody seems to be looking at the mage as they were before. You look over at the crowd that was just now looking at you, and they were just staring at the crowd, or staring at the burning plinth. You look up at the mage. The mage is still staring up at the sky. You now see the skin peeling away from the skull as it burns. You see a bit of black smoke emanating from the top of the flames.
Oh, I almost lost my cooler.
Are you okay?
Oh, I can't look at this. Then I'll turn away.
You turn away and start to kind of try to pace or make your way away from what you had seen. And you're suddenly stopped, almost your face kind of running into the stomach line of the captain as she approaches you. She sees the look in your eyes. You okay, young one?
I've never seen anything like this. It's horrible.
Aye, so were his deeds. She said, this isn't an act of vengeance, but is meant to deter others from engaging in similar activity. This is but a warning to those who decide that taking the lives of other 10-towners goes unpunished.
Yes. From what I've heard, he deserved it.
More than you know. And she kind of like, she goes, where are you from?
I'm from the Dwarven Valley. Up north.
Near the cairn.
Yes.
What brings you to Easthaven?
Well, I ran into a bit of a predicament out in a storm. Found my way to Brinchander and met up with a group of travelers.
Travelers.
Yes.
So you've
We're out
decided to come to Easthaven afterwards?
Yeah, we're looking for answers here in Easthaven.
Oh?
Trying to find out more about the rhyme, how it all started.
Ah. Then more than just travelers then.
You'd say that.
And she kind of looks down. She looks up at the now like halfway burnt body that lies lifeless across the like against the pole. She shakes her head. She goes, well, if what you say is true about you wanting to end this rhyme, you said you had a group you came with, yes?
Yes. There's 5 of us.
Well, if you're looking for work or if you're looking to help Easthaven during these times and this rhyme, feel free to meet me with your group.
Yeah, you're kind of hard to find sometimes. We searched for you yesterday.
I've been a bit preoccupied. She kind of looks up at the fire.
Understandable. Where could we find you?
Well, tonight I was told that there was information that I could gather from an individual over at the White Lady Inn. Just recently 4 fishermen had gone missing on the lake, and I've been trying to figure out what had happened with them until recently. This creature that we call a mage that stands upon that pyre took my attention away for a few days. Apparently he might have some information that can help us. If you'd like, you can speak with me there with your group later tonight.
Yeah, I'll gather them together and I'll let them know. I'd give anything to stop this rhyme.
And she gives you like a stern, like, okay, all right. And as she kind of like nods her head, she looks back up at the flames, at the now like 2/3 burnt down wooden pole. And she looks back down to you and she goes, enjoy the rest of the festivities. And she takes her hood and puts it up over her head, shuffles her cloak and makes her way through the crowd.
I'm going to look for Laden and relay the information I was told.
Okay. As you make your way through the crowd, you see that people are like stuffing their way and like filling the gap that you had created on your way through, as they are trying to get closer and closer to the flame as they possibly can. You see some people with like sad looks on their faces. You see the look of like they had just gotten vengeance upon whatever has just gone down, and it's just a very strange bit of trying to gather the emotions of these people in the crowd. As you finally kind of make your way through, you see at the front steps of the of City Hall, you see Leoden being tended to by a short dwarven woman.
Laden, I found the captain. I spoke with her.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yes. She wants to meet us tonight at the White Lady Inn.
That's where we're already staying, so that works perfectly.
Yes. Something to do with 4 fishermen missing. Are you okay?
I think I'll be all right. Thank you so much for your help. And I try
Got
to
a little bit of
get
snow on your face.
the lady to go away. I know, she's worried that I'm feverish.
She goes, do you need some water, dear?
No, I think I'll be fine. I'll just go get some tea or some whiskey or something.
Woman after my own heart. Very well. Stay safe out there. Drink more water.
I will. You too.
And she just kind of like gives you a nod, pats you on the shoulder, and makes her way towards the crowd. And you can see that her husband was kind of just waiting and looking, you know, kind of back and forth between that and her. And finally, as she makes her way over, she kind of waves her arm up, and they kind of meet up with each other and begin talking. And you can see her kind of like looking back as she tries to explain what was happening to her, what just happened to Leodin.
So maybe we should go. Unless
Yeah, I think we need.
you all want to stay.
I need to get out of here.
You go on ahead. I have something I need to get from here.
Do you
Very well.
need help?
I mean, do you want to help me scoop up ashes from this when it's done?
No, thank you though.
Probably a good idea.
I'll go.
As you all finish up your bit of talking, this thing has burned extremely fast. And at this point, you look now as the fire is just burning now upon the base of the pyre. And it is kind of barely lighting. The mage and the pole that he was once upon have fallen and began burning against the floor. And you see that the people that are kind of stationed on the around the wooden base itself are kind of taking snow and kicking it onto the fire to put out small bits before they catch the actual floor on fire. And as the last bit of flames kind of are licking into the air, you see the gnome artificer, Fizzlestaff Boomstick, approach the staircase as she makes her way back up. And she goes, "Well, that was pretty dark, but let's finish this night off with a bang! To Hrathgar's wake!" And everybody kind of slowly begins to clap. And you hear a few people kind of just talking in like whispers, and it's a very strange moment. And you see a lot of people now kind of exiting and leaving the area. And suddenly you hear, "Fire in the hole!" Another firework goes off into the air. It goes off as the last bit of flame licks upon the floor, and nothing but ash and dust is left upon the pyre she stands, or excuse me, the wooden platform she stands upon.
With everyone looking up at the fireworks when it goes off, would it be possible to like quickly scoop up some of the ashes from the burn-in into like a small pouch?
You'd have to make your way over to the pyre. You can do that, but I'm going to need you to roll a stealth check and then a sleight of hand check. So a stealth check first.
Let me see. Stealth. That is 16.
Okay. I'll say with the 16 that you are able to sneak past the crowd that is looking up at the firework as it goes off, or looking away, headed back to their stations. But you, as you reach the platform, you see Fizzle is like wiping her goggles of the black soot, and she just like blinks several times and just looks at you as you approach.
Alright, so sleight of hand check now as well, right?
Yeah.
Don't fuck me, dice. That is... Oh, that's actually an 18.
Excellent. So as Fizzle kind of looks in your direction, she's like, "Can I help you?"
Oh, my apologies. I was just quickly grabbing something from here. I just wanted to say that your displays of well, flashes of light are sensational to see, both up close and far away. I hope you keep going, doing what you're doing.
Thanks. It's getting late almost. By the time, what time is it? I think it's about time that we start calling it for the giveaways. Well, not for the giveaways, but for the for counting the tokens that everybody's gotten up.
Actually, yes, I have a few friends at the White Lady Inn who have a fair number of tokens. I'll make sure I tell them what's going on.
Well, send them out here, and we'll see what we can do for some magical items.
Wonderful. And she'll sneak back then and pour the ashes into like a pouch she had.
As you're talking, you kind of like reach down and like sit down on the step of the wooden platform, and as you're kind of talking to her, she seems to be preoccupied with like looking out towards the crowd and like, you know, almost like very boastfully appreciating her own work as you kind of give her some praise. And during that time, you just take a little bit of your hand and brush it into a small piece of paper and fold it over and put it in your pocket.
She'll then head off and start walking towards the White Lady Inn.
Okay.
Or at least find Abel so that then they can go there.
Yeah, Abel, what are you doing in this time as Grimly kind of looked up to you? You saw Grimly walk towards Leodin.
I've just kind of been ruminating over things in my head and absent-mindedly sort of fiddling with my necklace under my armor. And
Yeah.
After realizing like I'm alone now, I'll look for Kenraba. He's just been kind of out of it.
Yeah.
Fascinating, isn't it?
It's certainly something.
I was more talking about the people, less about the display.
Oh,
Such an uncomfortable event, and yet very few of them seem to turn their gaze away, be it out of sadness, anger, or pure vengeance.
I suppose it brings them some comfort.
It makes you wonder, perhaps every fire they stoke, it doesn't matter what fuel they have, will bring them comfort. Forgive me, I'm just thinking we should probably head to the White Lady with the others.
Yeah. Yeah, alright.
Besides, that annoying talking turnip up there is going to be giving out a few prizes of magical items, and I think you had quite a few.
Oh, I gave mine to Grimly, and I believe Grimly gave his to Iceheart.
I think we had 10, didn't we? So that's something.
And as you guys kind of gather up Leodin, what are you doing in this time?
I would have just gone back to the White Lady and arranged for rooms for another night.
You paid for 2 rooms initially. Or 2 nights.
Yeah, you guys are good.
You paid for 2
night.
nights.
Okay. Then we're.
So you're
just
heading
gone.
back to the inn, is what I'm trying to get. Okay.
Didn't stop. Didn't do anything else.
Okay. No problem. All right. So after the display is over, it's about 6 or so p.m. You see a lot of people are kind of fainting off of all of the rest of the you know, the activities, and are either heading to the tavern or heading in for the night. The seclusion that you were used to in Bryn Shander begins to become apparent here in Easthaven as well, as a lot of people begin clearing the streets. If there's any bit of a crowd, it's centered around the middle of the city where they were all just crowded around, as Fizzlestaff begins to talk and auction off bits of goods to the people. And you make your way to the White Lady Inn, and as you step inside the White Lady Inn, you notice that there seems to be a bit of a crowd here. It seems to be a decent-sized crowd. It's a lot more than what it was before. There seems to be like extra chairs and tables that has been pulled down and placed upon the floor in the first floor here, in preparation for a performance that was previously stated. And you walk inside, and again, like I said, it's full of people. And you notice that Ian has found a place, and he's just kind of leaning up against the wall as he waits. Ian and Olanu. Olanu, what have you been doing?
Just to kind of sum it up, I just would have been talking to Ian, grumbling essentially about if you want to execute somebody, you should do it fast. And just that.
Yeah. He would have responded in kind, just basically saying that I kind of think that's the point. They didn't want to do it fast.
Watching someone suffer like that, probably would have gotten myself in trouble by throwing a javelin.
Yeah. Pretty sure people would have been mad had you ended his suffering.
I guess. Makes me miss home.
Yeah, I get it. Strangely enough, it's not the worst I've seen. Shit you see out in the tundra. It sticks with you for a long time.
I don't think I've seen this level of cruelty
Well,
until coming to the 10 towns.
cruelty is true, but it seems cruelty was met with cruelty today. And I believe in a strange way that's what they would consider justice.
It seems not right. You shouldn't stoop to their level. You're better. Or at least you should aim to be.
Yeah. Well, here's to whoever that guy ended up killing. He kind of just raises up his glass. Yeah. Grimly, Leodin, Abel, and Kin, you all stutter and reach the inn all around the same time, just a little bit after one another, but eventually all make it back to the White Lady. What are you doing?
Kinrava will go over to where Iceheart is and say, so just for the record, in case you're curious, they are currently handing out prizes for anyone who has tokens. You may want to go out there and get something for your winnings before they're all gone.
Oh, Grimly had some too. We should go there as a party. Maybe we can find something cool for all of us. I have quite a bit of these. She pulls out like a huge bag.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. As you were like, I think they had like 10 or something like that. She literally like pulls out like a fucking sack full as they fall onto the ground. Or not onto the ground, but onto the table there.
Like, even with that creepy owl mask on, it's clear that she's like, oh, okay.
You can see her like forehead and like hairline move up as she raises her eyebrows.
Well, that actually changes things. I'm pretty sure none of the rest of these hicks in this town got more than that. We might be able to get something nice.
Walk up
Alright.
and set my last 2 tokens on the table. Light my
Oh,
pipe.
she had much more than you.
And you put on quite the show.
I think it's because she beat him?
Alana
Wait.
just kind of smirks.
Yeah,
Meanwhile,
whatever.
she's not doing that great. Like, she's all
Right.
bruised. She's got a bloody lip. Like,
But she
Just
seems
touch her with a
very-
lay on hands.
You gonna hit her with a little lay on
Thank
hands?
you.
How many points you giving her?
10. All 10.
Nice, all 10.
Well, in that case, that actually makes this fairly intriguing. Would you be up for heading out there now to get some prizes?
yeah.
If nothing else, I
thanks.
just
That
honestly
was-
don't want the insects in this town getting more than they deserve, so come on.
Jeez.
Right.
Yeah. All right.
If you had heard half the names they've called me, you'd know that's a compliment.
All right, so you finish your drink. Ian says, "Go on without me." As you exit the inn, and good.
Kinrava's just gonna look back at Ian and just be like, "Don't worry, we'll make sure you aren't going to be jealous of our adventures or such, right?"
He looks at Kin and just kind of shakes his head in a playful manner.
I see everything. Okay.
I bet you do. And you guys make your way outside. It seems the crowd has somewhat dispersed. There is all but maybe 2 or 3 people still around the central area that Boomstick is gathered in. You see Boomstick, as a matter of fact, is beginning to gather her goods and place everything, back where it needs to be, and begins heading down the steps as you all approach.
Hey, Boomstick.
Yeah,
You sell things for tokens?
yeah, sure thing. It's Hrathgar's wake.
What do you have?
Well, how many tokens you got?
87.
Well, 80. Oh, that's the most tokens of the year. Okay. Well, no more than 3 per customer. She raises her hand, but then she kind of places her stuff to the side as she has a bit of a satchel that is across her waist, and she reaches into it and she begins to pull out small items and or large items depending. So the first thing she will pull out is and she'll go down a list of things, and each time she lists it, it will become more and more expensive. She goes, well, first we have this, and she reaches in and she pulls what looks like a large tail of a fish out, and she keeps pulling and pulling and pulling until there's a like meter long fish, or wait, is it 2 meters? Hold on. She has a it doesn't say exactly, but she has a huge knucklehead trout that seems to be frozen solid in her hands, and she places it in the dust, or in the snow below you. She goes, well, this is one of them. And she kicks it to the side, and she goes, that'll be 25 tokens.
What does it do?
Well, you can hit things with it. Okay, next. And she reaches down and she's like elbow deep inside of a small purse, and then comes out and she pulls out a small vial, no more than like this big, and it looks to be of a clear liquid. And she goes, "Isle of enchanted water can come in handy." And she tosses it next to the fish. She pulls another thing out of her sack. She goes, "Here." And she looks, and you can see now what looks like the tail of a whale in the shape of a whale. It is a glass that is full of a liquid with a cork on one end. And she says, "Potion of the whale." Tosses it next to the other stuff. She goes, 30 tokens. She'll pull out, she'll start down and she'll pull out a thin, what looks like reed. And she pulls it and she pulls it and she pulls it and she pulls it and pulls it until it's like 5 or 6 foot long. And at the very end, you can see a reel. And she pulls out a fishing rod. But this fishing rod is covered, the handle itself looks to be covered in a thin layer of ice. And she goes, "Look, touch it." As she holds it out to you. She goes,
She'll put a finger on it.
"Warm as a campfire." And she places it on the ground. "Right. That one is 32.5 gold. Or I'm sorry, 32.5 tokens.
How do you get a half a token?
Yeah." And then she reaches into her pouch again. She pulls out a small necklace. This time it looks to be like a gem. It's a fist-sized tourmaline gem that sparkles in the moonlight. And she says, "Kaylee's beacon of hope." And she places it down in the snow. 35 pieces!
What does it do?
Well, I'll tell you if you want to buy it, but let me get through this. She pulls a small pouch out of her pouch. And she looks over at you and she says, "Magic snowballs!" And places it on the ground. She reaches down into the pouch and pulls out what looks to be like a small collar. Almost like a dog collar or something like that. This one looks to be embossed in filigree with snowflakes around it. She goes, "Magic collar." Places it on the ground. 40 tokens. She pulls out a small statue, a wooden sculpture of a derpy looking cat. It's horribly carved, angled in all the wrong places, and the eyes seem to be pointing in different directions. She says, "Craig's faux crag cat." Places it on the ground. 45 tokens. And last but not least, she reaches down and she's, "Damn it, where is it?" And she's like halfway into her own bag that's like on the ground, and she's just basically disappearing into the ground, and she comes back up and she's like, "Ah!" And she pulls out a large cloak. And this one looks to be made of wolf's skin, or excuse me, wolf's fur. And it's white. But as she kind of like flicks it like this, a blue mist seems to be flowing over the surface. She says, "Cloak of the winter wolf." 50 tokens! So, as I said, no more than 3 per customer. What will you have?
What does the cloak do?
Right. The Cloak of the Winter Wolf. You see, this thick furred cloak was crafted by and enchanted by a druid after slaying a large winter wolf that nearly slayed her. When you attune to this cloak, you can talk to animals a little bit better. Well, not talk to them per se, but you can, deal with them better. Also, look at this. And she takes it and she covers herself as she lays down onto the ground, and she becomes almost invisible to the snow, with the snow because of the white of the cape and the snow on the ground. And she picks herself back up, and the blue of the cloak kind of, as the mist kind of flows away from it. She goes, pretty stealthy, aren't I?
That is pretty cool.
What else?
What about this crag cat statue?
She goes, you're sure you don't want the fish? She points over towards it.
Yeah, we will pay for our own food.
It's not food. I promise, it's magical still. Anyways, the cat, you said?
Yes.
Ah, story has it that fed up with creatures constantly stealing his natural supply of winter rutabaga, the simple wizard Craig imbued a small wooden carving with the ability to conjure the image of a hungry crag cat.
Tell this Craig individual he needs to work on his sculpting.
And he goes, and she picks it up and points the base of the statue towards you, and on the bottom, crudely carved into the bottom, it says, look, just because I'm a wizard doesn't make me an artist.
Fair point. What about the gem?
The Beacon of Hope. Excavated from the dwarven mines at the foot of Kelvin's cairn, this glimmering red fist-sized tourmaline gem sparkles in the moonlight. You know, strangely enough, when held into the air, if any type of light permeates the crystalline structure, and as soon as she says that, a red light forms inside of the crystal and fires off into the distance. She goes, it always points north. And she picks it up and kind of tosses it up and grabs it again.
Anything you guys were interested in?
I'm assuming that potion of the whale transforms you into such a creature.
If only! A whale! Can you imagine? No. And she kind of like looks at you and she goes, you get the benefits of things that whales do. You can hold your breath for really long. You can withstand the cold. Stuff like that.
Is that all whales do?
No. Aside from swimming really far, I don't know too much about whales.
Oh, aquatic. Oh, understood.
What is she talking about?
Oh, I think she meant a water whale. W-E-E-L. Not
Oh.
W-H-L. W-H-A-L.
No, I genuinely had no idea what a whale was.
I don't think she knew what a whale was. You didn't know what a whale was.
What hole have you been living in?
The Underdark.
Underdark.
A literal hole?
Oh.
Very
So the
deep
fish?
one.
What does the
What
fish
does it do?
Do you want to tell us about the
Glad you
fish?
asked!
It seems like you really want to give us the fish.
You see, the fish is my most special item. It's really just a big knucklehead trout that you can hit people with. It's frozen solid magically, so it's pretty hard to handle, but hey, if you get a hit off, hurts like the dickens.
Okay. The
The
collar.
collar.
The collar! Oh, yes! She picks it up out of the snow. And you can see again, like I said, it's a leather collar that's been embossed with like filigree and snowflakes. And she goes, you see, it magically fits around animals' necks. It's supposed to ease their suffering or ease their, their tiredness. It's a bit of an energy drink for animals.
Oh.
That might actually be useful in case we need to get any sort of dogs or axe beaks.
So what are you guys interested in?
You see her like motioning and Vanna Whiting over towards the fish.
We aren't
No.
going to take the damned fish.
So
Would
the
you take the
tourmaline.
fish?
No, the
Exactly.
fish is starting to stink up my bag. All right. I've had it for years.
What about the bag?
Oh yeah. Is the bag up for like this seems pretty magical. How'd you get all of this stuff in there?
She like holds it tight to herself. She's like, "It's mine. No, it's not for sale."
That should tell you all you need.
Okay. That gem with our travels could be pretty useful.
Agreed.
So too.
It is quite beautiful as well. It was mined from the Kelvin's cairn, you said,
It was.
not from Tamerlane.
Well, no, from the foot of Kelvin's cairn. I mean, you could say anywhere between Tourmaline to the mines, the dwarven mines.
Right.
Nobody knows exactly where it was mined up.
And just for a refresher, because Kinraba's player is forgetful as hell tonight,
Yeah.
the Cloak of the Winter Wolf
Uh-huh.
gives you stealth and something else. Was it?
Animal handling.
Okay.
And that was 50.
That is
Yes.
50. That's the most expensive one. Yeah.
How much was the gem?
The gem.
35.
20. Wait.
The gem
35.
is 35.
35.
I think the gem would be the most useful to us, and perhaps the collar as well, actually.
Maybe. Also,
Wouldn't-
what did the fishing rod do?
Ah, yes, the fishing rod. And she picks it up and she says, "You see, this fishing rod here, this one was believed to be the rod that fished up Old Bitey. You know, the legendary knucklehead trout?
What
You
does
know,
it
the
do?
one that hangs up in all the taverns from time to time. They pass it around. Whatever, it's a big
Assume we
fish.
Don't. All right.
Look, all right. You know, although it looks long, the handle itself retracts whenever you don't need to use it to a very small pole. It doesn't. It's not always this long. And you see here, like I told you, this ice. It's warm to the touch. But
We'll give you that.
it is magic. It is magic. So it does help in fishing.
Magical hand warmer.
If you wanted to have that be what it does, sure. But it does more. Like I said, it's every fisherman's dream to own this rod.
It's also every
Right.
fisherman's dream to have water around you right now.
Well, you go far enough into the ice, you'll find water.
Speaking of water, what's up with the enchanted water?
Ah. She picks it up out of the snow. She kind of like has to dig for it for a second. You see her panicking, and she's like, "Oh." She goes, "Well, this is just enchanted water. And you can think of it as a magical spell. And when you throw it at whatever you want it to hit or explode upon, a 20-foot area of ice shards will shoot up from the ground. Of course, probably being dangerous, so I'd watch where you drop it. Might make it hard to move around as well."
I would say out of all of them, I think the gem is likely the most useful.
Mm-hmm. Agreed. Anyone else?
In my
The cloak
opinion,
would be.
quality over quantity.
Yeah. The cloak would be nice. If any of you want the collar,
How
How
many
about
tokens did you say you had on you?
87.
85. 7.
Five,
Yes,
excuse me.
87. Nope, you're right. 7. He gave me 2.
She kind of like side eyes you all as if you're like lying to her for a second. All right, 87. So what'll it be?
she's gonna take out the 35, ask for the gem, and hand the rest to everybody else in the group.
Okay.
You guys decide.
So you are now currently, as you take it from her, she gives it to you and she says, "Happy Hrathgar's Wake," and she gives it to you. She takes 35 of the tokens, places it inside of her her bag as they disappear, and you don't even hear them hit the bottom. She will give you the stone, and you will see. Let's see if I can. Maybe this will work. Hold on. If I just do this, will it work? Yes. Okay. Well, it works in chat, so you can see it in chat. I don't know if you can actually see it in stream. Let's see if I can. Whoa, that's me. I'm gonna repost it so it actually pops up on stream here.
So
Sure,
there
you
are
get-
53 remaining. And she's gonna toss the gem to Abel.
Oh, I'll catch it.
The gem.
Thank you.
Yes. You're
Okay.
welcome. You like shiny things.
My vote's the cape. We're gonna have to deal with a lot of animals.
Lucky for you, you have barely enough.
So it's either that and the cape, or 2 other smaller things. I think I have to
The
agree with Reardon.
fish.
Not going to
You know, if you
be
get the fish, you could probably get something else.
She
Tell you what, we'll
Kinrava's-
get the cape and you throw in the fish.
No.
I thought you wanted to get rid of that thing.
Like, yeah, but not for free.
I mean,
Good
you
luck
get
finding some
3
other sap
tokens.
to get it.
Two tokens. Math
Excuse
is hard.
I'm not losing out on 25 tokens, all right? Pick what you will. And she kind of just harumps as she like kicks the fish.
Alright, how I have to say the cloak. Although, if it gives animal handling... Who would you say we should give this to?
I'm fine with animals. Abel seems to be good with animals.
Also pretty good with animals.
I mean, I have a thing for wolves.
So anybody.
Well, fair enough then. Yeah, let's take the cloak
We
then.
can pass it around.
That's
You
true.
get it today, and you get it tomorrow, and then you get it the day after that.
She's just holding up the derpy carving and like wiggling it in the air, and she tosses it down to the ground. She goes, "So, the winter wolf cloak.
Yes.
Yes.
So be it. Rest of your tokens, please." She goes,
Who has them?
One
of us. Here, I hand them over.
She's
Lead
like, she kind of like takes the winter cloak back, like, hold on, let's figure this out before I give this to you. All right, and then she gives you the winter cloak. You pass her the money, and she goes, keep hold of those other tokens that you have there. You can save them for next year. I might have different
to know.
items by then.
Do you live in this town?
Not really.
Do you have a ways to get out of Icewind then?
No,
Where do
Where
you
did you find
live?
these
I
items?
travel a lot.
I don't suppose you have... I remember asking you this before, but I may as well ask it again since the festival is for the most part over, and... You don't have any means of getting a hold of spell scrolls, do you?
No, unfortunately not. I have not run into those in my time. Maybe next year, though. You can try your luck.
Fair enough. Thank you.
My pleasure. And she begins just to shove everything back into the pouch.
Can
and
I?
she... Oh,
Can I make a sleight of hand check to cast Prestidigitation to make that fish just look like it's a really weird green color.
Sure, go for it.
Oh, that's actually pretty good. That's a 19 to fuck with the gnome.
Well, it seems it's enough to fuck with the gnome, as the final thing she wants to put in the bag is that damned fish, and she goes over to pick it up. She's like, and she picks it up, and as she picks it up, the green area that's kind of like molding and looking weird on the fish, she's like, she shoves it into the bag.
Kinrava is so happy she's got a mask right now to hide the shading grin.
Tell your friends about the fish, please.
Of course.
That's a tough sell.
Thing
You
really
tell him.
stinks.
All right. Anyways, that all you got?
Yeah, that's all we've got.
Okay. Happy Hrathgar's Week. See ya. She just walks towards the pub.
You know, I'm not saying we should, but we are in Easthaven. We can legally mug her.
No, not technically. Technically, we can pickpocket her. There's a difference.
Options.
Well, that would be kind of mean.
Yeah, but she's a gnome. No one cares.
There's
I don't know about that logic.
To the
Right.
tavern, I hear there's a performance.
Yeah, I hear there's
Yeah.
a performance.
Also, the captain's gonna be there later.
Oh, that is true. We can talk to her about what she wants. What did she want to speak with us about?
Guess we'll find out when we get there.
Apparently, there's some fishermen who've gone missing.
Yeah, and she seemed intrigued by our group.
They are very intriguing.
Let's just hope she doesn't think we're flammable.
Ugh. How? I don't care.
Maybe keep your mask on.
That was the plan.
You guys headed back to the inn?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So with new items in hand, you start making your way over to the inn. The cloak, I will post in chat again. The cloak does require attunement. Let's see. Just want to make sure that it's all in there. It cuts off, there's a word limit. There we go. All right, so there's a bit of information that you can see there. That should be it. Kaylee's Beacon of Hope does not require attunement.
Okay. Well, that actually makes it 10 times even more valuable.
Yeah.
All right. So, you guys, again, with new items in hand, make your way towards the inn. And as you make your way towards the inn, you see what looks like a new sled that is outside of the inn, this time covered in different, like, not brightly colored, but at least not drab colors of cloth and furs just outside. And as you make your way inside, you can see now that there is what looks to be a couple of people, probably like about 3 people, setting up in the center of the inn. As there are several people that are, of course, just drinking and hanging out. The sound of the inn, with a small bit of a fire crackling behind them, kind of sets the atmosphere. What are you guys doing?
Is the captain anywhere in here?
Yeah, you look around, and as you look around, you can see that the captain looks to be tucked away in a corner. She has currently about like 3 people trying to talk to her, and she seems to just be kind of like placing her hand out and like calming their disposition.
Business first.
Sure, before the
Yeah.
performance.
You're muted, I think. Leah.
Yeah, Ray, I can't hear you.
Sorry, I've been coughing. Are we supposed to go to her, or are we supposed to wait for her to come to us?
I think it's best if we just go to her.
Yeah, I'll start walking over towards her.
Okay. You approach, and you can start to hear the beginning of the conversation or the end of the conversation, and she goes, "We're gonna handle it. Don't worry about it." And you can hear one person's like, "You've been saying that for like 3 days now. If they're out there, they're gone by now." She goes, "Look, we'll handle it. Okay? Just enjoy the rest of the night. If you're still concerned about whatever's going on, meet with me tomorrow and we'll talk. Okay? Fine." He just stomps off and he like grabs the other guy's shoulder, and the other guy grabs the other guy, and they all just kind of line out, make their way away. And you can see her kind of like roll her eyes as she kind of like places her head and hits her head against the wood behind her, and just takes a swig of her drink and puts it down.
I'll approach and say, "You must be pretty busy living here."
She goes, "Do you need something?"
Yes, I'm with Grimly. He's a small dwarf man. He said you wanted to speak with us.
Again.
Oh. And she kind of looks behind you, Abel, as you approach Grimly. She goes, yeah, are you the friends he spoke of?"
Yes, and I'll do like a salute. And I'll say, "My name is Abel Elias. I served with the militia in Termalaine."
Tourmaline, you say?
Yes,
Surprised you made it here alive.
barely. If it weren't for these people.
I'm sure, with the training they give you guys up there in Tourmaline, I'm surprised you even made it outside your walls.
Well, I had to take my training into my own hands a little bit, but
Glad you did. Anyways, yeah. So, there's been a lot of shit going down. As you can see.
Where's the rest? Is the rest of the party with us?
Yes.
Yep.
Well,
Yeah,
Alana would have followed.
Okay.
so it can.
Okay.
Okay. And she goes, "Here, take a seat." And you guys can easily find a way to find a seat. There are plenty of spaces. So, Tourmaline, you say,
Yes.
what brings you to Easthaven?
Well, I was heading to Brinchander originally, looking for work, looking for people that needed help. While we were in Brinchander, I met these fine people. My friend here, Kinrava, she wanted to come here after we heard some information about the burning that was going to happen today. So we've come here for her sake and check in on her people.
And she goes,
And
Kinrava.
yes.
Okay. Name sounds vaguely familiar. Which one of you is Kinrava?
Kinrava, she's gonna raise her hand a bit.
Huh. Nice mask. Anyways, what brings you here, Kinrava?
Originally, I came here to check out the library, well, very small bookshop that you had here in Easthaven. I came from Caer Konig. But after reaching Bryn Shander, ironically enough, we heard tell of this incendiary display that we just witnessed, and I was curious about the wizard in question since I myself happen to study the arcane arts.
So you're a wizard as well then?
I am, yes.
Interesting. Kind of looks you up and down. Do you know anything about the person being burned?
Unfortunately, I don't. That's actually why I came here. I was curious if he was someone I may have known, but I don't. In fact, I've never seen someone with those sorts of robes.
Roll a persuasion check, please.
Ooh. That is persuasion, so that is a 15.
She kind of looks you up and down, and she eyes, a bit of your spellcasting supplies and your backpack and stuff like that, and she's like, she kind of just furrows her brow for a moment and then shakes her head, and she goes, "That's a good thing you're not like him then." Yeah, I mean, what is it that you want to know?
Do you know why he killed these adventurers?
I mean, I don't know his reason for it. I know who he killed, how they were killed, how we caught him.
Where did you catch him?
We caught him back here in Easthaven, can you believe that?
He just walked back in here after murdering several townsmen?
Well, he had originally asked these townsmen to go out on an expedition with him. Supposedly to help find a missing compatriot or a student of his. They apparently they all got duped by this madman. He led him out into the snow and he killed them one by one.
Do you know where the bodies were found?
You mean body? The only body we found was Yndir.
Oh.
Poor Thomas, Harvey, Vector, Caitlin. No bodies to be found. But Yndir, when we found his body, he was burned and charred to a crisp in the snow. Luckily, parts of his body were below the snow, were left unharmed by the fire. A journal was found in his boot. Written inside of Yndir's journal, he went on about how strange this man was to begin with, asking about his apprentice and asking about whether or not they knew of a magical item out in the tundra and whether or not they had seen his apprentice. He was acting very strange from the start. And the last entry in the journal seemed to be even more hastily and hurriedly written. That the mage had gone mad and begun murdering the other party members. A wedding ring was found stuffed between the pages. You see, the fool came back to town thinking that his magical disguise would fool my astute guardsmen. But they saw through that disguise. They saw right through it. The way he walked, the way he treated other people. That was him. We knew it right away.
I see. I will have to ask for a selfish request. You didn't happen to see his spell book on him upon capture, did you?
Actually, we returned it to Tomlin over in the library. hoping that he could figure out what was up with the book itself.
I see. Thank you.
I need to go ask him soon about what happened with that book and see if he's figured out anything.
Tomlin actually entrusted that book into my care.
And she kind of looks at you and she kind of is like, what?
She reaches into her bag and shows the book.
He just gave you the book.
Tomlin is a very old friend of mine. He thought
Must
another wizard
be.
could make sense of this.
I guess that does make sense.
Unfortunately, I'm afraid I'm actually struggling with this myself.
What did you find inside?
Right now, for the most part, it's dark poetry. But I suspect that may just be... Forgive me, I don't want to bore you with details of Arcanabula, but most wizards create a specific type of cipher when they write their own spell books. And if this is indeed a spell book, which, from both your account and also Tomlin's as well, I suspect this may be written in some form of code in which I'm still trying to crack.
Well, don't venture off too far. That is evidence. I will say, though, that I'm glad it's in your hands, at least, until we figure out what is going on with that thing. Hopefully it leads to some answers.
Hopefully, although I did hear that you also wanted to speak with us on a matter as well.
Ah, yes. You know, if it's not one thing, it's another. She takes another drink of her mug. Fishermen have gone missing. 4 of them. Upon the ice. To the north, on the lake. She said they were sent, or they had gone out, and we have many of the other cities that around us, that surround us, here Dinaval, here Koenig. They tend to poach on our lake. So I assume one of the other boats possibly ran them ashore, or who knows. Hopefully they didn't do anything stupid. Anyways, like I said to your friend Grimly here, I've heard we may have caught some more information on the matter. You see that short one over there? And she points off to the halfling that seems to be preparing to perform for the night. His name's Ronaldo. Apparently he has some information that might be helpful. I figured since it's Hrathgar's wake, we'll let people go to bed after the performance and then have a little chat with him.
What was up with the group of people before we came over?
Just concerned citizens about the fishermen. We got a lot of stuff going on. That just seems to be the one of importance right now to them.
Is there a reward for looking into this matter?
And she kind of looks over at you and she goes, like looks you up and down. She goes, if you could help us in this manner, I might be able to supply you with some stuff. You said you are a user of the arcane, a wizard, yes?
I am indeed, yes.
And she says, if you are to return with information about the whereabouts of the fishermen, or if you are to return with, you know, anything that you may surface, we'll talk about maybe giving you one of these things that the wizard had on him at the time of capture, and she pulls out two things. One is a scroll in one hand, and the other is a small gray bag. And she goes, look, I don't know what the fuck to do with these, and they're just gonna sit and collect dust. So
May I just take a quick look at that scroll? I'll happily give it right back to you, but I'm curious about its contents to see if it's worth it.
why don't I hold on to it while you look inside?
That would be fine with me, yes.
And she just takes the scroll and unravels it and shows it to you.
Do I recognize what spell might be on it?
You see some arcane writing. I need you to roll me an Arcana check, please.
Ooh.
Do it.
Okay.
Meteor swarm.
Wish.
I need to kiss this dice tonight. This is a 25 plus 6 to
Holy
Arcana.
shit.
Plus
All
6
right.
to Arcana.
So, sitting in front of you now, as you look at the paper, the symbols on the paper begin to shift and move within your mind. You are tracing your old teachings back onto this paper into the language of your wizardry. And as you kind of like trace your finger in the air and make sense of what is written, you see a scroll of fireball.
I see.
Oh no.
I see.
She kind of like
Jesus
looks
Christ.
at you with like a furrowed brow and then like rolls it back up. What is it?
That is a fairly powerful spell.
She kind of holds it away from herself. She's like, what?
Yes, that's a scroll of fireball.
Is that good?
For me, that's most certainly.
Okay, well then, do something good for me. I'll do something good for you.
She's completely forgotten about the bag. She's just looking at that scroll.
Yeah, okay. And she just
Bag
kind of
forgotten.
shakes the bag and kind of shrugs and she goes, it's on the table if you want it instead of the scroll.
What is
Oh.
the bag?
I don't know. It's a bag.
If you don't mind, I'll just cast a small spell to see if I can work out what that is, if you don't mind.
She goes, if you're going to cast magic, I would suggest we do it in private.
That's acceptable. Forgive me, I got a bit overexcited.
Could it just be a component pouch? Like maybe just look inside?
We looked inside, there's nothing. But,
Huh.
I mean, it came on, it was on the body of a wizard, so it means something. You don't just carry around empty coin purses.
Fair.
I'll happily take a look at that later.
All right, no problem.
Question.
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
Oh, you said that you guys found the body burned. The mage had a scroll of fireball on him.
Yep.
I would assume that the mage already knew how to use fireball. Magic. That's fine.
I will say, if that mage was capable of using the spell on that scroll, then it's not surprising he was able to kill a few 10-towners.
Yeah, it just seems strange that he would have a scroll of a spell that he probably already had.
Well, we can only cast so many spells per day.
This is all very technical. What, do you have anything else
Wait.
you'd like to ask?
Do you have the journal on you?
The journal? No, I don't. It's in evidence.
Oh, all right.
Do you need anything from it, though?
I was just gonna look through it.
I pretty much told you all there is to tell. Really, anything more was just, I don't know, the old man's life. You two are awfully quiet. She looks over at Abel and Grimly. You sure you're up to this?
Yes, I'm just taking everything in.
I apologize. The thought of having access to arcane wizardry again just completely consumed my mind. I apologize, Abel and Grimly.
No, it's
She
fine.
kind of
that's
looks.
right.
She looks over at Kin Rava and she says, "I want to keep a handle on that. I don't want you to end up like what happened there tonight."
Believe me, I have no intention of burning any of my comrades.
It's good to know.
When will the halfling be leaving?
When will he be leaving? I'm not sure. He is to perform tonight, but didn't ask how long he's staying.
Isn't there like a massive portrait of him somewhere in this tavern?
Yeah, it
Yeah,
totally is.
you look over and there's a Captain Morgan stance gnome, or I'm sorry, halfling, with a guitar underneath him.
I don't think he's leaving anytime soon.
Currently, as you look over, you see him like directly diagonal to the portrait, doing the same exact stance as he has people kind of surrounding
boy.
him and talking. He's just like smiling and looking out at them.
Leodin, please do me a favor.
Yeah.
Never end up like that.
Well, I mean, we can all do that. We just decide when to do it and when not to do it. But that particular stance doesn't quite work for me.
It doesn't work for him either.
Oh, that's very true, but he doesn't know it.
And at this point, you guys are talking. A strange man kind of bumps up against Abel's back, and he looks to be in a an overcoat, and he seems like he has like really scraggly, almost like wet like hair that seems to be sweaty all the time kind of look, that kind of just dangles down past his shoulders, and he kind of looks over at you, and he looks over at the captain, and the captain rolls her eyes, and he's like, "Hey, you group here. You all want
Yes.
to buy my papaya?" And he opens his coat, and he has what looks to be a large vegetable in his outfit.
Is he like facing away from the guard captain or facing?
No, he's like
to her?
facing the table. The guard captain has rolled her eyes.
Literally meant papaya. I was worried.
I honestly
So-
expected him to like show up with someone's organs in that coat.
Oh, I thought
I'll
he was
look-
just gonna flash us.
I'll look towards Imdra and just try to get a read on how she's reacting.
She kind of shakes her head and she's like, "Would you just go away?" And he goes, "None of your business, all right? Business is business. So, you want to buy my papaya, yes?"
No.
No.
Abel,
Come
check your
on.
pockets.
What?
Kinrava's
Is the
going
papaya?
to just turn her chair around a bit so her back is facing the captain.
Yeah, while he's standing there, I'm gonna stand up and take a step back and just start patting myself down again to make sure I didn't just get got.
Okay. Roll a perception check, please.
Ooh. 15.
15. As you kind of search around, everything seems to be in order.
Where did you get a papaya?
That's me secret. Now, do you want it? Not.
Is it
You
special
said-
or something?
It's very special.
How so?
When's the last time you saw a papaya?
About 3 years ago? Maybe 4.
Exactly.
I've never cared for papaya.
Much for the papaya.
Say again?
How much?
For you, little dwarf. The low, low price. Just 1 gold.
Grimly, if you buy this papaya, so help me, I will burn your beard in the night.
I
Come
don't even know that it's
now.
an actual papaya.
Don't listen to your friends. This is your decision to make, friend.
I'm kind of hungry.
Leodin, you said
You're
you'd seen
in an-
papaya before.
You're in an inn. They have
Is that-
food here.
Macam, leave them alone. Go away. You can't tell me what to do. I'm just telling my go away, Macam. This is your last warning. You're missing out. You could have had a papaya today.
You're
He
right. We
closes
could
his-
have, boy.
He closes his outfit and he just walks out, and he has to like shove his way through like a few people, and you even see like one person stick their leg out and trip him a bit as he walks behind them, and he's like
Oh.
he kind of fixes his coat, and you can see his coat has like a few holes in it. He looks kind of homeless, if you will, and he makes his way out the door. Sorry about that.
Chase after.
Kinrava, I must say your town is full of very strange people.
Oh, I don't live here.
Yeah, I'm gonna chase after. I'm gonna feel bad for him.
All right, so you chase after him for a moment. And as you chase after him for a moment, you hear the sound of a couple of clogs basically hitting together as two wooden pieces are being knocked together to get and gather the attention of the inn. And as you kind of look up, you can see that the halfling has climbed up on top of one of the tables and has a guitar kind of wrapped around his waist, and he's kind of pointing out towards the crowd as he clacks these things together. And you can see two other band members behind him, one with a flute, one with a fiddle or a violin. And at this point, we'll go ahead and take our break. We'll take our halftime break. All right.
Oh man.
So I hope you guys are enjoying it. Let's go through a few things for the people that are watching so far. That was some amazing crap, guys. You guys are awesome. So like right before the game started, we had an anonymous cheerer donate 5,000 bits to the stream. That is incredible. Thank you so much for the support. Anonymous cheerer, you've been here through the thick and thin. You guys, thank you so much. All the people that are new watching, all the people that are not following or subscribed or anything like that, welcome. This is Nat1Fun. I hope you like what you are listening to so far. We have a lot of episodes that you can catch on YouTube or on podcast, and you can check out our Discord that links you to all of our social medias. And yeah, we are just happy to have you. Thank you guys for being here, and we'll see you guys here in a little bit after the break, as everybody goes to the restroom, grabs a drink, and then we will head back. Doug for the host, Doug for the tier 1 sub, for the resub, 18 months sub to the channel. Thank you, Doug. Huge, huge, huge. Let's go another month of Nat1Fun. Hell yeah. Coach Uncaged Bride for the hosts, Gingerly for the follow, Cynical for the follow, and Nikki with the huge 24-person raid. I welcome each and every one of you guys. Thank you guys for being here. Nikki, of course, one of the biggest supporters of our stream. She's an amazing person. You guys should definitely go check out her channel and her game preps and her games and everything like that that they play. She is quite an amazing person and good-hearted at its best. Cynical with the 200 bits. Bryn Shander, Game Warden here. You boys got fishing licenses? Good stuff. I like it. And then Arth with a huge gift sub bomb. So Nikki, the cool grandma games, the queen is not amused. Pax Animon and Joe Numbers, congratulations for your subscriptions to the channel. Thank you, Arth. I really appreciate it. Bullfrog for following. And what is that? Shenekid? Shenekid. Shenedic? Shenedic. Thank you for the follow. I don't know how to say your name. Sorry, dude. All right. Anyways, we'll see you here, guys, in a little bit, and we'll be right back. Oh, did the stream... Are we still streaming? What happened to the video? There it goes.
Gonna refresh my Discord during this break too.
Yep.
Hey Dan,
What's up?
we hit 100 subscribers on our YouTube.
Woo!
Yay!
All right. Well, when we come back, I'll definitely address that.
We had 41 people watching at one point.
Mm-hmm.
We have 44 right now. It says, I don't know. God, I'm fucking psyched right now. I'm so happy to see so many people actually here and enjoying this. Don't let them know, though. They can't know that I'm nervous.
Cool, everyone. Cool.
Act cool.
That fireball scroll though.
Oh my god. Like,
I'm hoping that bag is actually like a handy haversack or something like that.
Yeah, here's handy haversack.
yeah. Although I feel really bad now.
Why is that?
Because I feel like I might have doomed Toneland to be like the next sacrifice.
Oh god.
Oh.
And the worst, and it's
Okay,
like,
lottery.
I mean, honestly, like, Kenrava was told a while ago that honesty is the best policy in 10 towns, but now, no.
I'm curious if that was actually a papaya.
Yeah, that's so weird.
Oh my god. Of all the times for the god captain to just not give a shit and do something, like, there's no wonder people were, like, pulling crimes in her city. Well, she said those 3 fishermen went missing out on the lake, didn't she?
I think it was 4, but yeah.
Right, 4 fishermen went missing out on the lake.
Lack Dinishir.
I'm so happy. Finally a spell scroll. Finally!
and a damn good one too.
Oh my god. If I can get that, that'll be like a Christmas gift.
You should have got the fish.
Oh my god. I don't even know what that was about. I was really hoping that the bag was for sale. I was really hoping that.
I wonder if she'll just let us buy stuff from her.
Maybe. But she was an artificer, right? Yeah, artillerist, so I think that bag is just something that she herself enchanted. So it probably stops working if we take it away from her. Oh wait, if she still has stuff in that bag, does that mean like... And the enchantment comes off, does that mean like the fish just explodes out of it if the enchantment comes off or something? Or is it just lost to the void?
So for all the new people that are here in the stream, first off, welcome again, like I said, to Nat1Fun. We like to give back to our viewers here. So those people that are subscribing to the channel or luckily being gifted subs or anything like that, do know that we do free giveaways every month, mostly for dice giveaways if you enjoy dice. we do free giveaways for those that are subscribed to the channel. So every third week of the month, we give away a certain set of dice. So if you are subscribed to the channel and you guys are here during that episode, you have your chance of winning some free stuff. Also, if you don't have the money to subscribe and you don't have Twitch Prime, no problem. If you are art talent, or if you have a bit of artistic talent, feel free to draw us some fan art. If you like what you've heard, or you are inspired by something that you hear during the game, throw down some fan art in our throw down some fan art in our Discord channel, and we will start giving away free subscriptions to the channel if you provide us with some fan art. If we get enough fan art, which I highly doubt we will get for the time being, if we get a lot of fan art, we will start selecting the best fan art of the week and then giving away one free subscription per week. Now, that being said, nobody has drawn us any fan art just yet, minus the one that is kind of, it's not necessarily fan art of something we did specifically, but it does have like an Icewind Dale motif. But other than that, yeah, we are in search of artists, guys. We are in search of artists. If you really find it yourself bored, or you really enjoyed something from the stream, definitely send it our way. We would very much like to see that. Darksider, yes, I did get your message. Thank you. That might be a possibility. I will go through those things and check them out. But I really do appreciate it. Thank you, Darksider. Meteor Swarm. I cast Meteor Swarm at first level. Meteor Swarm at first level, you get hit in the head with some hail.
Phenomenal cosmic power.
Ride through the cosmos with this planet as my vessel.
I really am super hyped to see as many people as we have right now in chat. That is incredible. I'm so humbled to see as many people as we do. 5 episodes in.
Yeah. Chat's OP right now.
Kind of terrified, I'll be honest.
I know it does get a little nerve-wracking after a while, but
like the moment I actually like pause and actually like look back at how many people are watching, I'm like, oh shit. Oh shit.
Believe me, your nervousness has not faltered your roleplay. It seems to be tip-top, as always.
Oh, thank you.
Rob is the best.
I just hope I'm not doing like too much or anything like that. I don't want to. No.
No, you are more than fine. Darksider, I did get your message. Can stream? Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, I hear.
Okay.
Stream's good.
Yeah, Darksider, I did get your message. Thank you.
I can still hear us on stream, but I think it's like really delayed, I think.
Yeah, there's a slight delay.
That's fine. As long as I can hear.
Normal.
Actually, 2 seconds. Be right back.
Still haven't heard Dan. Yeah, I still don't have a Dan.
Also, god damn it, we're gonna take away all of Grimley's gold first chance we get.
Feel bad for the little
Yeah.
guy. He got tripped. He's got ratty clothes. Probably just needs a coin.
Where did he even get a papaya in this place?
Probably a rock that he painted to look like a papaya.
Probably.
I still want it.
Watch Grimley kill the big bad with that painted rock papaya.
I'll break my teeth on it.
Oh god.
Yo. The crowd staring at me was creepy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I
It's
was like,
freaking
oh,
me
no,
out.
no, no.
It's like a horror movie.
Hell yeah.
I have a vivid imagination of what that would look like.
Oh yeah. Oh.
I almost pulled my axe out.
The crowd like slowly turning to you during the thing too.
Poor Grimley.
Look on the bright side. At least now Kinrava's not the only thing you've seen with red eyes.
Hey.
Yeah.
Or
He
her
discerned
owl,
that
for matter.
when
Or
the
that
eyes
owl.
popped up in his book, the whole eye was red. So it was much different than Kinrava. Freaky dicky. But the lightning, that's new.
Yeah, there was lightning coming out of his eyes.
Which broke? Oh, that's weird.
Oh yeah, that's true, guys. Thank you, Shiny, for posting that up in DM's Only Spoilers group. Guys, if you are a DM for Icewind Dale, or you don't necessarily care about spoilers per se, you can always go and support me as well, specifically as I wrote those magic items are custom magic items that I wrote for this game, including an additional 20 other magic items to boot, 21, 22, something like that. Anyways, it's a total of like 31 magic items that I wrote for Icewind Dale. And you can go and support me by purchasing that on DM's Guild for I think like $1.25 or something like that. You get like 31 items into the that you can put into your game, and not only that, it is all D&D Beyond compatible. So every single one of those items that I just described, I made in D&D Beyond and created a link for them, so you can easily just click in the document what item you want, and it automatically gets added to your character sheet, and you can use it right away.
You broke it, Grimley. That's gonna turn on me with the way I'm spending money.
What happened?
That's gonna turn on me with the way I'm spending money.
Oh. Is my chat caught up, by the way? It's the last thing that was said. Did you get my message?
Yeah, the last thing was, did you get my message? But I'm trying to refresh, but it won't. It just says connecting.
Did my heart pop up?
Nope.
Mm-mm.
Oh. Twitch is acting up then, because I posted a heart a little bit ago.
Yeah, I think this is more on
Sorry.
Twitch's end than ours.
Oh no! Twitch is down!
Can you see my test?
No.
I can't even see streams.
Is Twitch like totally dead?
It's
All
down.
I'm seeing is this. Hold on, I'm getting a screenshot for you.
Sorry, unless you've got a time machine, that content is unavailable.
Voice is coming through.
This is what I'm seeing on my screen like right now.
Yeah, I'm getting nothing.
But that connecting to chat has been going on like constantly.
Oh, I can't even connect to streams right now. That's
Yeah, nothing's
unfortunate.
coming up
I
for
think
me.
that 41 viewers is lying to me then. Oh, no, I can reconnect. If I hit reconnect
There
enough
it is.
times, it comes back up.
Try to go to your channel first and see.
Refreshing chat now.
Offline. Videos are temporarily unavailable. I'm gonna close the browser and reopen.
Chat, go ahead and type if you can hear me. I'm trying to test and connect to chat. See whenever your messages come up to let me know you can hear me. It still says I'm live, so I'm not gonna just drop the stream just yet.
Connecting.
So
If
so you guys can hear me though. If you haven't touched anything, you guys can still hear me in the stream.
Do you have We'll Be Back Right Back still up?
Yeah.
Okay.
If anyone in the chat is in the Discord, please tell us if you can still hear us also.
Yeah, chat's broken, but voice is coming through.
Okay. Well, I'm just gonna have to go off of that.
Alright.
Hopefully this doesn't mess up the replay or anything like that. Trey, your background is black. Is that purposefully or?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know.
I just didn't know if everything was messing up too.
No. I switched it. Hopefully it'll make my camera looks terrible on stream.
Sorry, dude. That's the overseas thing.
Yeah. Everybody else looks fine.
I don't know. Brad looks like he's in 240p and.
Yeah, that's true. But Ray looks great. Ray looks great.
I know. Yeah, Ray does look fine. Yeah, until she starts moving, and then we get the slideshow. But still, yeah. No,
Oh,
it's fine.
do I still have time to grab a drink real quick?
Yeah, go for it. I'm still trying to figure out. I want to make sure that chat is back for this because this is a big moment for the stream.
All right.
That better?
Eh,
I don't know what's going on.
I don't think it's gonna get any better. It's been like that the whole time.
Should I switch computers?
Nah,
Do I have time for that?
I mean, you might, but I wouldn't risk it messing anything up that we have like ready to go.
Okay, I'll tell you what. I'll just set up the other computer while we wait and see if I can just jump right over.
Okay.
That'd be better.
This is like the worst possible moment for fucking Twitch to go down.
Yeah. Do
You
we
hear
want
them, folks.
to
Something big's coming.
like refresh the whole stream or?
I mean, if we do that, I risk not being able to start the stream back up because Twitch is down.
Yeah.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah.
Until like I can reconnect to chat and say, hey, I'm restarting the stream, and they can be like, okay, no problem. Then I don't know about restarting it just yet.
That's fair.
Did anybody answer us in Discord whether or not they can hear us?
Yeah.
Let's see.
General. Can I send you a few Steam game posts? Let's see. Which stream is lagging like there's no tomorrow? Someone else saying.
Just confirmed it. It actually is on Twitch side. They said issue has been identified and they're working on a fix at the moment.
Mother truckers.
Also, I don't have a live video anymore.
Okay. Well, just a slight moment for those that are still here in chat. Hang out. We are hanging out currently in our Discord chat. If you would like to actually hang out and chat, join us in Discord. You can see the link below the stream. If you can still hear me, there's a link below to our Discord. We are chatting there right now in general chat until we can figure out what is going on with Twitch. I don't
according to these reports, just to warn you, Dan, according to these reports, Twitch has been having issues since the 30th.
Oh, okay. I was streaming all day yesterday in like 6 hours. Didn't have an issue. I wonder.
Yeah. Apparently it's something that's been sort of flickering on and off.
Only direct link works. No chats, channels, etc. Twitch won't let us type. Son of a bitch.
What was that?
What happened?
There's this music. Like piano music.
I don't know. Wasn't on my end.
Yeah, I think you're going crazy.
What was that noise in the distance?
Did you hear those whispers?
Yeah, I hear whispers, guys.
Trying to see if some like notification came across. I don't
It's been
see
doing this the
anything.
last couple days. I would just keep going, to be honest. All right, well, fuck. I mean,
Sorry,
so-
Discord.
only thing I can do. So guys, if you want to chat until Twitch fixes their shit, maybe come join us in Discord and we can have a live chat. If you
Any way
guys
you
want, go ahead.
Any way you can set up a source to capture the Discord chat?
That's way too much
Just a
work right
thought.
now. No, it's fine. I could do that, but this to set it up to look right, and I'm good. I'm not that worried about it.
Let's not add more work on top of this.
I got picture as well, but not all the time. Okay, well, hopefully when I switch over, maybe you'll start seeing pictures as well. For those who didn't click away from the stream, go over to the campaign discussion channel in our chat. That way, if anybody wants to mute a channel, that way they don't get spammed with anything, they can just mute that one, and we'll talk there for the time being. Everybody seems to be back though on our side, and because there's literally nothing we can do about it until they fix it on their end, I think it's just time we continue on playing D&D.
Yay.
And for the moment, if you want to catch this again, if you can hear this, if you want to catch this again, it will be posted up on YouTube, and you can always watch the replay there. All right, so let's get back into it, see what happens. All right, and we will post up some music for now. All right, so leading back into it, the last thing that was happening was the sound of like clacking pieces of wood together to gather the attention of the bar room. And you see again, like I said, Ronaldo is standing atop a table, clacking these wood pieces together. And he's like looking out into the crowd with a large smile upon his face as they start to kind of come down in their rabble. And you see approaching him the inn's keeper. And she walks over to him and whispers in his ear and points over towards Leodin. And he kind of like scrunches his eyes and looks over towards Leodin, and he like calls you over, Leodin.
Show him up, girl.
Just gonna ask you on a date tomorrow.
12,000% that's what's gonna happen. Yes.
So, I heard you play.
I do.
Do you know how to read sheet music?
Depending on who wrote it, yes.
Well, here. And he hands you a bit of sheet music. And he says, You can play along with us if you'd like. Heard you're pretty
Well,
good.
I can. That's sweet of you.
Sure, up to you.
Fine. What would you like me to play?
Well, you look here, it says the Lady in White. You can play your mandolin if you'd like.
All right.
Alright, so you don't come in through about halfway through the song, but you're more than welcome to join us then.
Okay.
Right. Places. And he's like, Damon, you ready? Cheryl, ready? What was your name again?
Leodin.
Leodin, you ready?
I am.
Well then, without further ado, and he takes his guitar out, and he says, out on the ice, there is a tale that I will tell you today. The tale of the White Lady. And as the rabble kind of dies down, a bit of clapping is heard out in the audience, and you all hear this. Have you heard of the tale of the Pale Lady? A legend that always seems to evade me, whose husband's life was sadly lost in the murky waters, a treasure tossed. An old miser was he, in love with his hoard to be for all eternity. Oh, lady in white, what is your secret? Try as I might, you very well keep it, but I shall tell this tale of the treasure in the lack. Join in, Leodin. Whether it be the treasure's heft, or the face of the widow you left, it resides at the bottom of the lake, awaiting an adventurer to take. Forever she wept, her soul yet slept. It is death she shan't accept. Oh, lady in white, what is your secret? Try as I might, you very well keep it, but I shall tell this tale of the treasure in the lack. Of the treasure in the lack. The treasure of the lack. You heard it here first. As I've said many times, there is a treasure out on that lake, and I aim to find it one day. Maybe with the help of a few friends like you. And he kind of motions out towards the bar, and everybody's like, oh yeah, ooh yeah. Leodin, roll me a performance check, please.
That is wrong mouse. A 17.
A 17. Okay. Everybody's camera on stream is frozen. Give me 1 second to reset them. Let's see if I can get them back. Yay, okay, I can fix it. That's good when it's broken, but I can fix it still. That's all that matters. Okay. Yeah, so with that roll, you can absolutely see that the crowd is finally enjoying it. Easthaven has shown its true colors. You've broken through that icy barrier, no pun intended, and Ronaldo walks up to you and he says, "Not bad, lady. Good job."
Oh, thank you.
So, what brings you to town?
A friend of mine wanted to visit a friend of theirs. And then there was a festival, and then there was a burn-in, and then we came here to talk to someone, and you called me over.
Sure thing. He goes, "That was pretty darn good." He goes, "Your other friends just as good looking as you, or?"
For the most part.
Wow, our lucky day, huh? And he turns back to the band and they kind of like roll their eyes. And he turns back to him. He's like, "Don't mind them. Anyways, Leodin, you said. Why don't you introduce me to your friends, yeah?"
Oh, sure. Right this way.
And he follows.
Sorry. So, that one there is Iceheart. That one there is Abel. That one there is Kinrava. That one there is Grimly. And that one's the captain of the guard, and I've forgotten her name, but... And I don't know if you'd call her a friend, but that's who we're drinking with tonight.
Imdra. You know of Imdra. She goes, "Ronaldo?" He just kind of nods his head and he goes, "Well, it seems you all know me. I am Ronaldo." He goes, "It seems you've gathered the attention of Imdra here. What brings you to the tavern tonight?"
I believe we were
Well,
looking for. We were going to be looking for said missing fisherman, I believe. We were promised a lovely reward if we did.
"I'm sure you were." And he kind of looks over at Imdra and winks at her. And you can see Imdra kind of like blushes for a moment and then kind of like rolls her eyes. "Anyway, you said you had something to tell me. So, spit it out." "Imdra, dear, of course I have something to tell you. Why don't we take it a moment and enjoy ourselves for a little bit before we get into... Show me what you have now, little man." "Okay, all right, no need to rush. Look, how about this? Let us go upstairs so we can talk privately about what we need to talk about, yes?" He's like, "Fine. You lot, would you join us, please?"
Yeah.
I'd be happy to.
"Well then, it's a date. Let's go to my quarters." And he looks back and he's like, he points out towards the audience. And there are several people who put down their drinks. About 5 or 6 people put down their drinks, and he gives them the "let's go" motion as he motions over. And he goes, "I have a few friends that'll be joining us if you don't mind." And she kind of like waringly kind of like, "Whatever." And he's like, "Follow me." And he makes his way upstairs.
I do hope this isn't the Easthaven Thieves Guild or something.
And he makes his way to the 3rd floor, to which you all were familiar of before. But he makes his way all the way down the hall to the last door on the left. And as he makes his way all the way down the hall, he sees like the big train of people following him, and he gives a big smile and he puts his hands on his hips and he goes, "Right this way." And he opens the door. And as he opens the door and you start to funnel into the room, you can tell this room is not very big. It looks to barely be able to fit every one of you. And he's like, "Just squeeze in, just move out of the center. If you clear some space, please, if you would." And you notice as you enter the room, that there is candles placed like around the room, like everywhere. There's just a lot of candles. And he snaps his fingers, and as he snaps his fingers, a little bit of fire kind of lights the tip of his fingers, and he kind of places his finger on each one of the lights in the room, on the candles in the room. And now you can see that a cloud of like incense and flickering flame lights the room. And he closes the door behind. Excuse me. Okay. And you see Imdra, she goes, "What is this all about?" And he goes,
Please.
"Calm yourself."
Please tell me this isn't an orgy.
Whoa, getting ahead of yourself, aren't you there? No, not an orgy. And he takes a few of the candles that were up around the front of the room that were placed on like a little platter, and he, excuse me, and he makes his way to the center of the room, and he places the candles in a bit of a circle in the center of the room. And he goes, "What do each and every one of us know about the lady on the river? Or, excuse me, on the lake?" Well?
Nothing.
Come on, I just sang a whole ballad about it. Gotta know
She
something.
lost her husband.
Sure.
Her husband died, something sunk to the bottom of the lake. You know, now that I'm actually thinking about it, maybe that potion of the whale might not have been a bad investment.
Don't know what you're talking about, friend, but listen closely. The lady, she's been dead for quite some time now. And she haunts the very waters out there. You hear one person in the back going, "Oh, come on." He's like, "I'm serious. She does. And I can prove it." And you see Imdra, she goes, "What does this have to do with the fisherman?" "I'm getting to that. I'm getting to it. Now first, I need each and every one of you to hold hands. Come on now, let's be
God,
friendly."
we're about to get robbed, aren't we?
Oh,
No, I think we're in a fake seance.
fake? What do you mean
Right.
fake? This is as real as it gets. Come
Why
now.
not?
What do you have to lose? Aren't you curious to what the white lady may have to say?
Sure.
Look now, we live in dark times. We don't need your dark attitude to be added to it. Now, join hands, please.
Kinrava will
Grabs
just extend
kids.
it.
Abel, Grimly, as you grasp hands, Abel and Grimly each grasping hands with complete strangers. You can see now that everybody seems to kind of just be looking at each other. Some of them look to be like enraptured. Some of them like are ready to go, and they're like, "Yes, this shit is about to go down." Others look a little bit more confused. And the captain of the guard like doesn't even have her hands out. It's just like two other people just grabbing her hands by her side, and she's just like. And he goes, "Sit, now sit, please, cross-legged. It helps. Come on,
Shouldn't we have
come on,
done that
sit.
first.
Just,
Uh,
it's part of the process."
I'll just sit down.
Okay, and as you sit down, Ronaldo steps up upon the like a small like crate that's in the middle of the room, and he rolls up his sleeves, raises his hands in the air, and he says, "All right, you don't have to close your eyes, but I'm pretty sure it helps." He goes,
No.
Lady who watches from the lake, come to us in our darkest hour. Tell us what you've seen. Moment of silence passes. And just before you hear Imdra like, oh, come. And as soon as she says that, a gust of cold wind flows through the room for a moment. She's here. And Imdra kind of shuts up and her eyes kind of go like taut and she looks around the room. You start to see that the windows that line the back of the wall behind you, they start to frost over and become opaque. As he looks around and he says, now, give me something. Like, help, call her upon us. As he looks out to the group. Help me in the seance. You have to call her.
Lady
in white.
We summon you here.
Give us information.
Come on, more convincing than that.
Lady of White, we
Come.
call you forth from beyond and hearken you forth to this center of place.
Oh, lovely lady in white, will you
Oh, here we
please
go.
come and give us all the answers that we require about the rhyme, about life, about death, about anything in which you have knowledge, but especially the treasure of which this little man talks.
Or with its fishermen,
See, I knew I
Oh,
brought her
that
along
too.
for this, for a reason. Leodin and Kinrava and Olanu and Grimly, go ahead and roll me charisma persuasion checks, please.
Okay. That's cocked.
Yeah, I'm just watching.
I figured since you didn't really speak up when he said like help.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. All right, Grimly, did you get a persuasion check?
Yes, that's an 11.
11. Olanu.
Where is this?
Skills.
Kin, you got anything?
Underperformance.
6.
Oh, okay, 6. Kin.
I got a 16.
And of course, Leodin.
22.
Yes.
So
She's only good at a couple of things.
She's really damn good at them, though.
all right. As you all state your chance or state your willingness to help, you can tell that with the unknowing or kind of unenthusiastic callings of Kinrava, nothing really happened. Olanu, nothing really happened. But as soon as Leodin had spoken up, holding the hand of Ronaldo, some of the sheets that were on the bed that kind of take up most of this area that has been kind of like shoved to the side, they whip up into the air and then they fall to the ground. He goes, there, she's here. What, Lady in White, what is it that you want from us? What is it that you can and you can see him like get shoved back against the wall and like has his hands like planted up against the wall, and suddenly like the muscles in his body lax and his mouth goes agape and his eyes, as they are like closed in the moment, they open and you can see now nothing but white in his eyes, and his voice seems to change with the moment. As he looks down like upon the room, everybody is just mouth agape, just like, what is going on? You can see his breath in the air. You can actually see the condensation coming out of his mouth. Nobody else but him in the room. And she goes, oh, who are you?
Twitch is fixed.
Twitch is fixed. I like knowing that. Let's see if we can refresh chat.
Yay.
I think we can hear your keyboard, by the way.
Hey, Twitch seems to be fixed.
There we
All
go.
right, freedom.
Freedom, freedom, freedom. Hooray.
Well, I hope everybody was able to listen to the song previously. Like I said, it will be in on repeat on YouTube and everything like that. I will also post it up in Discord for you to listen to it by itself later on after the episode. So we are back, and leads us off, like I said, as she looks, well, as Ronaldo looks around the room. Who are you?
We're just
Friends.
some folks who came to talk to you. Who are you?
I am the lady he speaks of.
Do you know where the fisherman that went missing are?
She goes, what is it about the fisherman you seek?
Kinra was just gonna look over at Indrik.
She's just mouth open, like staring.
Fishermen went missing on the lake recently. Do you know what's happened to them, or where they might be?
Taken from their boat. A cave far to the northeast of the lake.
By whom?
An unnatural being.
Can you describe the being?
He just breathes heavily in the smoke kind of coming out of his mouth. But no reply.
Guess not.
Are they alive?
She kind of looks and she says, they breathe no more.
That was treasure. Where is it?
She says, I know not of the treasure.
You telling the truth?
I mean, you
I
don't
want to know if
necessarily
Ronaldo's
know
telling the truth.
if she's telling the truth. Well, the voice coming out of Ronaldo is completely supernatural and like not of his own.
Okay.
Where did your husband's boat sink?
Somewhere on the lake. I've searched for years, but I haven't found him.
Do you know? You alright for a long shot question? I'm asking this to the group now, not the lady.
Group, are you listening?
Yes.
Okay.
Anything. While you can, ask away.
Do you know anything about the rhyme?
I could care less about this rhyme. I just want to be reunited with my husband.
Hmm.
Is that why you still wander?
Yes. She says, I have heard rumors. If you care to hear.
Speak,
Oh, I
spirit.
always love to hear rumors.
Ronaldo is like arms out still and just like staring off into nothingness as his mouth is just agape and like eyes white. The smoke coming out of his mouth every so often. The castle in Caer Dineval has become a base for devil worshippers. She states, you are not alone in Easthaven.
What do you mean by that?
Yes.
Dark beings wander the streets. And she says, go to the lake and find my husband for me. And as soon as she says that, you can see Ronaldo like shake violently as if going into a seizure. And he drops from the box. The eyes drop back out of being white, and you can see his irises again as he drops and falls to the ground next to the candles, knocking like a few of them over. And the window to the room bursts open, not shattering or anything like that, but it bursts open as wind rushes into the room and snow begins to come in. And suddenly the wind kind of dies down back to its normal fall. And you are all standing there as Ronaldo oh, ow. Imdra shakes her head. Ronaldo. And she goes over and like picks him up. I'm fine. I'm fine. What the hell was that?
Nice.
What?
Did you all see her?
Does that happen often?
I
What
wouldn't
happened?
say we saw her.
What do you mean?
Your body was
She's-
possessed by the spirit.
She spoke through you.
I was standing here, saw the sheets move,
Mhm.
and I was on the ground.
No, there was a
Huh.
lot in between that. You were sitting here with me, and then all of a sudden, your arms go out, your eyes go white, you fly back against that wall, and start with the mouth agape and white mist coming out every so often, but words coming out of your mouth, even though your mouth wasn't moving.
You just hear a bunch of like rabble and talking around the room now between all the people that kind of showed up to the seance. He's like, okay, yeah, that sounds familiar. So I hope that helped, Captain. As you can see, I hope she gave you the information you were looking for. And she's like, I guess, yeah, that was more than helpful. Thanks, Ronaldo. Sorry for second guessing you. It's okay. A lot of people second guess me. I know it's strange to talk about spirits amongst the living.
Captain, do you still want us to go and investigate those fishermen?
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. If
Do you want
there
their bodies
is-
back?
One, I would love their bodies back. Their loved ones would probably want them back, especially now knowing where they are.
We can't have future fishermen being attacked by the same creature.
Mm-hmm.
I know it sounds dangerous, but you look like an able-bodied group.
He's definitely an able-bodied person.
I mean, yeah, sure. And she kind of is like, I was thinking about her, but okay. Points over at Olanu.
Don't worry, you'll get it later.
Speaking of which, dark ones.
Yeah, what was that all about? What do you mean, dark ones?
She said that we weren't alone in Easthaven and dark beings wander the streets.
What does that mean?
I don't know.
Okay, well, don't know what to tell you there. Yeah, first of all,
Perhaps we should investigate that later.
Everyone,
Yeah.
and she's going to look at the group. But could we meet in one of our own rooms just so we can discuss how we can best handle this whole lake situation?
You see like
Yeah.
3 or 4 people like that were leaning in, kind of lean back out. And they're like, yeah, do you guys have a room here at the inn?
No, not you, just our group, thank
Just
you.
us.
Oh, okay.
Unless you want to come with us out onto a frozen lake to deal with some apparently unnatural monster that killed 3 fishermen.
Yeah, that sounds like a great time. I'm gonna pass and go get drunk.
That's what I thought.
Hey.
So.
If you're gonna play any more music or whatever, just come on down and we'll gladly pay for your next drinks. This was a crazy experience. He's like, yeah, no problem. Thanks for showing up. Anyways, yeah, get out of here so we can talk. It's like, okay. And they leave. And you currently are in the room with Ronaldo, the captain, and yourselves.
Okay.
Is the reward still on the table for bringing out those fishermen's bodies?
She sighs. She's like, as much as I would have liked to have received them alive, maybe you going out there and finding out what killed them could be just as beneficial.
Yeah.
Very well.
Especially if we're able to kill it.
Exactly.
Was
Prevent
she
this from
offering
happening again.
both items or just one?
Just one.
The dark beings. Has there been anything else going on around the town?
I mean, I've heard so many stories of different things. I'd have to go back and check my logs to see if there was anything like this reported. That one seems pretty out there.
Okay.
Sounds
Maybe
good.
do that while we're gone.
What sort
Yeah,
of
I'll look into
items
it.
have gone missing?
What items have gone missing?
You said things have just gone missing.
I'm not sure I know what you're speaking of.
Oh, so the castle in Caer Dineval has become a base for devil worshippers?
I don't think that's anything to do with her.
Well, no, but that might have something to do with the dark beings, depending on how far it is.
That might be a good...
Dineval is quite a way away. I mean, you guys came from Brinchander, yeah?
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's about twice, well, not twice as far, but twice as long to get to now since the passageway's been blocked to the north.
Maybe they wandered down here.
Yeah.
If it's some sort of unnatural creature, then it could be something that could easily make the trip in the snow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess
If
it
you
just.
don't mind me
could-
asking,
But
what is the passage to Caer Dineval? How is it blocked?
the ice on the lake. There used to be a ferry that traveled from here to Dineval through Koenig. But since the ice is frozen over for the past couple years, it's been out of service. If you look out
Right.
on the lake, you probably have seen all the ships that were lined up against the docks.
Hmm.
One of them was used to go from one to the other. Hell, you might even find the captain still around here somewhere.
Hmm.
Is there any safe way to travel across the ice?
With your feet? What do you mean? I mean,
It's
don't
strong enough
fall.
to hold our weight.
Point.
Sure, of course.
So are you gonna fall in?
We haven't heard of anybody falling into that ice in years. It's probably several feet thick. I don't think you have anything to worry about.
Right.
Okay.
I guess just don't go too far out. There is a point where
See,
it
this is
thins
what we're
and
looking for.
goes, okay, well, sorry. I didn't realize you didn't know the basics of, how ice works.
They mentioned that the cave was on the north. Is it western or eastern?
Northwestern.
Northeast.
Northeastern. Did I say northeastern?
Northeastern.
Northeastern. That's what I
Northeast.
said. That's what I meant.
Okay, yeah. So northeastern.
Of course, I wouldn't know anything about that.
But
I'm
if it's a
the DM.
cave, then I highly doubt that would be somewhere. I doubt something could have dragged the fishermen through several ice unless it was something enormous. So maybe the cave's likely on the shoreline.
I would say so, considering that's probably where you would find large hills or mountain sides where a cave would possibly be, unless it speaks of like a hole in the ground being a cave.
Maybe. Captain, do you know any sort of caves or such over in that region, or don't you have anyone who usually goes out there that often?
We don't necessarily go that far out. We try to keep to ourselves here in Easthaven, but I do know of a few large mountain sides that could house a cave, possibly, but none that's ever been reported.
Alright.
Well,
I'm sure if
We're
what
gonna
she
set out
said
in the
was
morning?
true, I'm sure if she said I'm sure if what she said was true, and if you follow the shoreline, you're liable to run into some sort of cave eventually.
So following the shoreline. Let's focus on the fishermen for now, then, and we can come back to this or deal with these dark ones.
If it
Yeah.
seems like an issue, and you guys are doing us a favor, I think I might peruse and ask some people around town and try and figure out what that's about. Like I said, I'll do some research and see if there's anything in our database. Not database, our collection of scrolls.
they're really good with
Archives.
Excel.
Been playing way too much Cyberpunk, sorry. We're about to
Damn it,
jack in.
man.
We're about to jack in. Hit the net. Chumbas.
Well. In that case, then, how about we set off to see if we can find the cave mentioned here in the morning?
Yeah. Give it one last good night of sleep.
Could I also speak with all of you before we leave? Not you two, and she points at Ronaldo and Captain. I just want to ensure that we have some sort of battle plan before we get there.
Well, don't let me stick be in the way. I just had some information that I'd like to pass along, and I'm glad that it came through. Imdra joined you downstairs for a drink later, yeah? And Imdra kind of like nods at him, and Imdra's like, if you don't mind me being part of the process here, I am kind of in charge of things. If I'd like to be in the know-how.
Of course.
Yeah. do we want to head to our room to talk?
I mean, if he's going to leave, there's no point.
It's just awkward being in his room. Or
Don't
without
worry
him.
about it. Just, you know, don't go rearranging my stuff.
You'll be fine.
All right. Well, see you guys later.
See ya.
And he goes and exits the room.
If there is a
Whoa.
chair,
I was gonna
On
do
one
the
side of the
exact
room?
same thing.
I'm putting it on the other.
I was going to do the exact same thing. In fact, once I see you start to do it, I go, Alano, let's move his bed.
Where do you want it?
I don't. Can we flip it upside down and put it over there?
Absolutely. Hey,
He's
Grim,
a
help me with
halfling.
this.
He'll never be able to move it on his own.
As
That's
you
what
guys
makes
start
it so funny.
walking around and like you can hear like as you scoot like furniture across the floor and like throw chairs across the room. Captain Imdra kind of like looks at you all and says, "What are you doing? I thought
Don't
we were
worry
supposed to be
about it.
planning."
We are.
we-
Give us
we
3
are.
minutes.
Kinrava's just going to shrug at the captain.
And she kind
part
of
of the
looks
process.
over at you, Ken, and she's like, "Look, if it wasn't Ronaldo, I would say something, but hurry up."
Kinrava's just going to be like, don't worry, I'll send them to bed without supper.
And you rearrange the room. Olanu literally picks up the bed and like sets it vertically up against the wall.
Oh, that's perfect. Okay,
That's this
back
guy.
to
Are you
business.
done?
I'm not sure we could do anything else, so yeah, I guess.
Anyway, well, pause myself again. um, well, you're actually, now that I do have you here, your guards mentioned that when you caught the wizard, they were able to see through his disguise, correct?
Yes. He was
You
using some
mentioned
sort of
that they saw
illusion.
through his mannerisms and way of walk. It wasn't through any sort of magical item.
No, they just saw straight through. Well, they didn't see straight through his illusion. They noticed a strange figure, a new person to the town coming in, but walked, talked, and acted just like the wizard.
Not a very good
And
illusion.
eventually, after a bit of coercion, the disguise was dropped, and we were right.
And you haven't noticed anyone else in the same sort of unusual swagger coming into your town?
Not recently.
So if they are walking among us, they're probably not using any form of illusion magic to disguise themselves.
Just what I need, another magic user.
They could be.
No offense.
None taken.
Could also be like spectral. I mean,
Oh god, more
we did just
ghosts?
see a ghost.
To be fair, you have been sacrificing a lot of people lately. There's a good chance that the Lady of White's presence may have drawn them back.
Interesting take.
I'd like to walk to the window and just look outside. Do I see anybody out there?
Yeah, you can see the windows are still pretty frosted over as they like swung open, and you look down through the open windows and you look around and you just see like a flurry of snow fall, wind, and darkness. There doesn't seem to be anybody around.
Can I cast Divine Sense real quick?
Sure. You
Just out
cast
into the
Divine
darkness.
Sense. What does it look like again?
Gold eyes, gold hair.
Same effect goes off. Okay. So as
He
you
goes Super Saiyan.
Yep. As you stand there, kind of like standing at the window, you hold your hand up against the windowsill and kind of close your eyes for a moment. And when you open your eyes are golden. And as your eyes are golden, your hair begins to like lift up from your forehead. and it turns to the golden yellow color. And you see everybody else sees Captain Imdra kind of like take a step back. He's like, is he okay?
Yeah, he does this.
She kind of just
I
like
believe this is some form of divine magic.
puts her hand on like the hilt of her sword and just kind of, or the pommel of her sword, and just kind of places it there and just looks over. And Grimly, you cast Divine Sense, and I assume you're looking for undead? What are you looking
Undead
for?
or fiendish.
No. So the undead sense that you get, what is the distance on it?
60 feet.
You note about 45, 50 feet north of the inn, one single entity of undead comes back to you as you look out onto the ice and docks that are just off to the north of the inn.
Something out there.
And it seems to just kind of be, it like walks 10 feet one way, then walks 10 feet the other way, walks out of your range for a moment, then comes back.
Moving about at the docks.
If it's
Something
at the
undead.
docks,
It's undead.
You have a
it's
sense
at the-
of the undead. As you look out, you see nothing though. So just so you know.
if it's at the docks, it might just be the individual we just spoke with.
Makes
The
sense.
white
Uh-huh.
lady.
And you see Imdra saying,
Yes.
you can see that?
Can feel it.
You turn around and say that with like your golden eyes and hair, and she's like, okay, I believe you.
Poor woman. Actually,
Yes, you're probably right. It's probably her.
Well, I suggest you guys get started in the morning then. No use going out tonight.
we will.
If there's anything else, you let me know. Come find me. I'll be downstairs for quite some time, finishing off the
We will.
festivities. All right.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Thank you for your time, Imdra.
Be safe.
Try to have a good night's sleep.
Yeah, you too. I think I'll sleep well knowing that killer is not on the loose any longer. Okay. Well, we'll see you later. And she exits the room.
We all still think the killer's on the loose, right? I'm not the only one.
It very well might be.
It's fair.
Granted, if this mage's poetry is anywhere to give any sort of an insight into his character, well,
Oh, I'm not saying that the mage isn't bad, like the actual mage. What I'm saying is I don't think they killed the right person.
Maybe. It may be more of a, based on what they were saying with the dark beings, maybe it's more something like that. Maybe I'm feeding into the ghost thing a little too much.
it might actually even depend on what this mage could be capable of. I mean, if he had a scroll of fireball on him, and from what they described, he torched the individuals around, he could be capable of bringing back the dead himself. There's a lot of corpses around you can animate into minions.
I don't want to alarm any of you, but during the burning, something happened. I saw a vision. The mage looked at me, and everyone around me started turning towards me, and they all had the red eyes that I've been seeing.
Hmm.
So
That's
there's definitely a dark
strange.
presence in this town.
I also have another theory on that. Kinrava's
Not
just
crazy.
Right. She's just going to quickly peek out the door to see the guard captain's gone.
Yeah, you see like the tail end of her butt just like going down the steps, and then you can see her head vanish behind the wall.
Okay, she's gonna go back into the room. You don't suppose that lady in white might have been referring to me, do you?
Why?
Well, she takes off her mask. Dark One?
If
It was a
literal.
plural.
That's
Yeah.
hmm, that's a fair point.
So unless you know of other drow up on the surface in Easthaven.
Hmm, not that I know of. Usually drow Usually there's a raiding party that does come up every so often to take people back for slaves, but they usually aren't subtle about it.
Not that I've heard.
I'm honestly fairly. If one spirit was drawn here and got, for lack of a better word, stuck on this plane, I still think there's a good chance that her own spirit might have been drawn in the previous sacrifices as well. Or perhaps the mage created some undead and left them wandering around. Not all magics Not all magics vanish after the mage is killed.
Or maybe there's some demons. Or maybe the little chewingas are playing tricks on people. There's just a whole lot that it could be.
True.
Yeah.
If nothing else, we can at least focus on what we do know, and that there is an unnatural creature lurking somewhere out in one of the caves around the lake. Perhaps complete long
Yes.
shot on this, but perhaps that creature might have some information about it. I'm not saying we interrogate it. Obviously not. That would be insane. But
I mean, depending on the creature.
perhaps they might have some form of information some manner themselves. I don't know, perhaps they might have dragged in one of these dark ones or captured something along with the fisherman.
If I may interrupt, they want the bodies back, so maybe in the morning we should see about getting some sort of a cart for ourselves.
That's not a bad idea.
We should have kept the captain here and let her give us transportation.
Something tells me that she's going to be someone we should not ask too much from.
She is downstairs. We could just go ask her quickly.
That is true.
Yeah. Perhaps Leodin should go ask.
Probably for the best.
And then we can try to get some sleep.
Yeah.
I have something I need to do before sleeping anyway, so
Or whatever sleep is anyways.
I know you must still be hurting from your bout with Iceheart.
you fought Iceheart?
You know, it's so fun.
He tried.
Is he the one who gave you...
Oh no, he didn't get
Oh.
a hit in.
Oh,
Oh,
Whatever.
It was very entertaining.
Enough about the fight.
Jeff did that.
the turtle?
Yeah,
Oh,
right.
but I got him good.
oh, you beat him.
Yes, that's how I got the 85 tokens.
I shouldn't be satisfied with that, but I am.
I'm gonna go talk to her about possible transportation. Do y'all need me up here while we work out details? Are we still working out details?
I think that's all we really needed to work out. We can't do anything until we actually go out to see the lake.
Yes.
Before you go, Leiden, I have a small request.
Hmm?
I'll pull out the bloodstone pendant that I still have.
Okay.
The
I
one that you
turn the
made?
bloodstone. Sorry?
Sorry, I was making sure it was the one that you made.
Yeah. I'll pull out
And,
the bloodstone
sorry.
pendant that I made. And I'll say,
Mhm.
I made this into a small jewelry piece. I don't know. I'll hand it over to her. If you could maybe get a little more than 50 gold for it. But I thought maybe another 5 gold at least.
I don't know if I could do it tonight, but I'll.
Yeah, no, just whenever.
All right. All right.
Do you want to head downstairs
you.
then, Leonin?
Yeah.
Okay. So you head downstairs. You see the crowd has dispersed a little bit from what it was. A lot of people have finished up their drinks, and you see the captain is down there talking to Ronaldo to try and figure out how he did what he did, or if he knows any more information, that kind of stuff.
Captain Imdra, may I have just a quick moment of your time?
Of course. What can I do?
Would you be able to get us transportation for tomorrow?
To get across the lake?
Not across the lake, along the shoreline.
I don't have anything in particular. If you're looking for transportation such as like dogs or Axbeak or something,
That
I
would
assume.
work either.
Yeah, you can head out to the stables. There's stables out to the south. They're gonna charge you an arm and a leg, though. I'll let you know that now.
Do they ever give any kind of a discount if you're working for the city?
They'll probably charge you more if you tell them you're with us.
That's what I thought. Just wanted to make sure. All right. Thank you very much.
Mm-hmm. Those
I'm
up in
gonna
the...
pop back upstairs.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
Sorry. I'm gonna pop back upstairs and just let them know that we're gonna have to go to the stables in the morning.
Okay.
Maybe we grab just a sled to bring the bodies back on.
Yeah, I
we
can pull
just
it again.
We can just pull it if need be. I'll admit I'm probably not going to be useful in pulling that, mind you, but
It's fine. I got it. Or Grimly. Actually, you were pretty effective at pulling that sleigh yesterday or this morning too.
Yeah, we could do that.
plus anything to save us money at this point. It's like everything in this place wants money.
Yeah. We can just switch off hauling duty.
And I'll throw snowballs at anything that gets in our way.
As
You can guide us.
Yeah, as you guys kind of formulate whatever necessary plan that you have in order to make your way to the destination tomorrow. You guys, do you have anything else before you are going to find your way to bed? I know, Kin, you had one thing. So
Yeah.
let's go ahead and pick up with Kin.
Alright, so Kin's going to head to the room they got for, I think it was her, Leoden, and Olano, I think,
Yes.
was it? Yeah, it's all girls in one. She's going to set her spellbook down on the floor And she's also going to set out the spell book, or what she assumes is the spell book of the wizard as well, down on the floor. And she's going to take the quill out from her hair and just keep writing in her own book for a moment and say, Ashurbanipal, I am going to grant you personality where you will work alongside me. However, you are also going to be something to help keep me in check.
What is it that you mean, Master?
Ambition is something that is both healthy, however, it is also something that can lead some to unfortunate ends. As time goes on, you will grow with that.
If that is what you wish.
And you are also about to see if we can make this work. And I am going to see if I can use my Order of Scribes ability.
Okay.
To see if I... Well, actually, no. First, before I do that, I'm going to take out some of the ashes of the wizard I got. Sprinkle them on the spell book, on his book for a moment, sort of smudge it into the pages.
Unfold the paper, and inside the paper you see a small pile of ash.
And I'm going to gently smudge it into the pages to see if that actually does anything for a moment.
You like rub your thumb across the face of one of the pages as the black kind of smears across the page. It just leaves a black smear.
I will cast Detect Magic on it for a moment. See if I can find anything magical about it.
As you cast Detect Magic on the book, the essence of an illusionary spell hits you like a train.
I thought so. Alright. So... well, this is a do or die thing. I am going to use my Order of the Scribes ability and see if I can transfer the awakened mind of my spellbook into the new spellbook.
Okay. Excuse me. The time that it takes to do that is how long? I think it's a short rest.
It takes an entire long rest, yeah.
Oh, is it a long rest or is it a short rest? I'm sorry.
I believe it takes an entire long rest too. It can be used like... It says at the end of the rest.
I think it says a little bit earlier.
Oh yeah, short rest. Yeah, my bad. Sorry, short rest. Short rest.
So
using your wizardly quill. Yeah, sorry.
So no problem. Yeah, absolutely. So as everybody kind of gathers around for like the end of the night and everything like that, you can use your short rest. So Kinrava, as you are attempting to transfer the spirit of your book into this book, the spirit of your book is like speaking in incantations with you. The book is very, very almost word for word speaking what you say. And as it goes, Master, are you sure this is what you want?
Only one way to find out, so let's give it a try.
And you say the final incantation that is necessary to transfer over to this book. And suddenly the voice, okay, here goes nothing. And suddenly silence strikes for but a moment until you hear the word. What is it that you are doing in my book?
Ah. Now that is interesting.
The images and sigils that you had inscribed in the book prior to you making your way into this book disappear and fade from the paper. And as you look into the journal entries that you see into this book, you see the text and writing reappear magically upon the pages of this one.
So is that a success, or?
You believe you may have done something that is similar to what you think. And as we lay most of our heads down to rest at that point, Kinrava finishing up what she needed to do, I assume?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Kinraba finishing up what she needed to do. Abel, Grimly, Olanu, Kinraba, and Leodin, you all set your head down to rest for the night upon yet again the lovely pillows and the furs and stuff like that of one of the best night sleeps you've ever had here in Icewind Dale. And just as everybody is catching the best sleep of their life, Grimly. You yet again are struck with the utter fear of being watched as you are in a snowstorm in the middle of nowhere. You see the wind howling yet again. And just as before, you suddenly feel as if you're being watched, chased even. You begin running through the snow, fall down the same hill that you have fallen down several times now. As you fall and tumble through the snow, you gather yourself, and that prickly feeling of being watched yet again as the screams and echoes of yelling emanate through the darkness and the wind and the snow. A clearing of snow showing a bright red set of eyes in the distance. As it becomes getting closer and closer, you can see the electricity starting to emanate through the eyes. But this time, you feel something in your hand. And you look down, and your axe is with you. It gets closer and closer until it is bearing down upon you.
Stand up.
You stand up in like the waist deep snow.
Is my shield with me or not?
Yes.
I'm gonna drop my shield, then grip my axe two-handed.
The eyes getting ever so closer and closer and closer.
Can I swing at it?
You take the axe with all your might and fear, instilling the power within the strike as you hit solid within the eyes. The eyes dissipate into the air and you are like stuck into something. And as the snow and fog dissipate from the area you swung the axe, standing in front of you now, you see the face of TRIG as he stares back at you. Your axe buried deep within his neck, down to his chest. Shakingly, you drop your hands from the axe. TRIG just looks at you. Why? Why? The snow beneath you gives way and you begin to sink into the snow as if quicksand has taken you. And you fall into blackness until you can't breathe, see, or feel anything. Until you blink. And now, standing in front of you about 30 or 40 feet away from you, into the darkness, you see a familiar figure tied to a post and pyre just ahead. The figure slowly turns in your direction, and where you believe you will see the face of the mage that was burned at the stake, instead you see your own face. As it looks towards you, it takes a moment, but then throws its head back. As it throws its head back, beams of white light echo out of its eyes and mouth into the air, as suddenly the clouds above in a purplish blue and green swirl begin swirling above, the white light piercing the sky in a loud nature, causing you to almost put your hands on your ears. And as soon as you attempt to move, talk, breathe, think, the light sinks back down into the person. And for but a moment, there is silence. Until suddenly, the figure bursts into flame, and you can hear screaming at the top of its lungs, your voice, "Ah! Ah!" And that's where we'll end today's session.
Oh man.
God damn it.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
So, on that note, if you are watching on YouTube, I really hope you enjoyed that dark episode of Nat1Fun in Icewind Dale. And we'll see you next Saturday. Thanks for watching. Bye, guys.